And hello to the peoples.
Indeed,
Uh,
a great big hello.
yeah. And yeah, continue to do the trick. Yes, you're in a fire. Is that the correct place to be starting at? That's the real question. This is day 3, waking up, morning, something burned. Yeah, that's probably right.
He
How's
did go
this?
to sleep, that's right.
Mm-hmm. So it's probably yet another nightmare of the incident. Houses crumble and people burn. No matter where I go, all I see is crimson. This is what I saw 10 years ago. The long forgotten memory of the past. I run through the scenery, recreating what happened. I know it's a nightmare, but there's no way to escape. I run, and I keep on running. Every time the scene ends with me as a child running out of energy and getting rescued. I wake up feeling wrong. A hand to my forehead tells me I'm sweating, even though it's winter.
もうこんな時間か。
The clock reads past 6. I hear the soft sound of chopping from the kitchen.
さくら、今朝も早いな。
Not really the time to be impressed by what an early riser she is. That's what I'm saying. Like, both of y'all, a bit too early of a riser for me.
Like, I wake up at 5 a.m., yes, never by choice.
Yeah. Never, actually. Last time that I woke up that early was like for work. On the like the one-off chances that like, hey, we have to do this thing, and it's like at the butt crack of dawn. But other than that, I sleep in wherever possible.
I feel you, brother.
So that's not to say that I won't just stay up all night and then go to sleep at 5. That's a separate thing.
You are sometimes a bad influence.
Whatever do you mean?
I only said sometimes.
I am always a good influence. Oh.
That classic blinds transition.
シロ、今日どうするのよ。土曜日だから午後はアルバイト？
Ah, it's Saturday, so it's a perfect day. Well, no, they typically have school Saturdays. Never mind. Let's see. What is he going to do?
いや、バイトは入ってないよ。一世のところで何かやってると思うけど、それがどうかしたか？
別に。暇だったら道場の方に遊びに来てくんないかなーって。私、今月ピンチなのだ。
ピンチって何がさ？
お財布事情がピンチなの。誰かがお弁当作ってくれると嬉しいんだけどな。
Wow.
断る。自業自得だ。たまには一食ぐらい抜いた方がいい。
Dang.
で、シロには期待してないもん。私が頼りにしてるのはさくらちゃんだけなんだから。ね、さくらちゃん。
And watch Sakura be like, see, I would, but I have other things to do, so no.
はい。私と同じものでよろしければ用意しておきますね、先生。
Dang.
What a kind lass.
Very. Too kind for that world. This one too.
オッケーオッケー。じゃあ今日は一緒にお昼を食べましょう。
Breakfast goes smoothly. Today's menu includes the typical sides, and the main dish is braised lotus root, konyaku, and chicken. Sakura probably didn't need to make such an elaborate dish for breakfast, but I'm guessing she made an extra to pack for lunch. Sakura is a member of the Kyoto Club, and Fujine is the club's faculty advisor. No one would think it was weird for the two of them to have the same lunch.
そういえばシロ、今朝は遅かったけど何かあった？
Fujine looks my way as she sips her miso soup. As much as she didn't find, as much as she's just kind of out there most of the time, she's pretty sharp about this kind of thing.
昔の夢を見た。寝覚めがすっげえ悪かっただけで、あとはなんともない。
なんだ、いつものことか。なら安心かな。
Yeah, I guess fair enough. If it is the usual, then yeah. It's not an interesting topic for Fujine, so she shifts the conversation in another direction. That doesn't bother me one bit. 10 years ago, I used to have nightmares a lot, back when I couldn't shake the memory of that fire. But as time went on, the nightmares grew less and less frequent, and I've gotten to the point where the dreams don't bother me anymore. I've been told my nightmares were pretty bad back then, though. Fujine was already with us by then, and she's been sensitive about changes in me since.
シロ、食欲はある？今朝に限ってないとかない？
ない。なんともないんだから、人の夢にかこつけて飯を横取りするな。
Dang.
シロが強くなってくれて嬉しいけど、もうちょっと繊細でいてくれた方がいいな、お姉ちゃんは。
He can be gentle,
それこっちのセリフだ。
just not to you.
ちょっと可憐になってくれた方がいいぞ。弟分としては。
We both huff and turn our heads away from each other. Seeing that as a sign that I'm fine, Fujine smiles in relief. Honestly, I appreciate her consideration. I know that she'll get an ego about it if I say it directly, so I pretend to grunt and protest instead. Sakura looks puzzled by our interaction.
Look at those doe eyes.
I know. Soon after Fujine leaves, I lock up and Sakura and I leave as well.
先輩、今日の夜から月曜日までお手伝いに来れませんけど、よろしいですか？
別にいいよ。だって土日だろ？さくらだって付き合いがあるんだから気にすることないぞ。
そんな違います。そういうんじゃないです。本当に個人的な用事でちゃんと部活にだって出るんですから。だから何かあったら道場に来てくれれば何とかします。別に土日だからって遊びに行くわけじゃないです。だから変な勘違いはしないでもらえると助かります。
Why would it be a bad thing if you were? Sakura's acting suspicious, or rather, she seems nervous. I don't know why, but it's probably just that she can't come over the weekend.
わかった。なんかあったら道場に行くよ。
はい、そうしてもらえれば嬉しいです。
Sakura sighs in relief. But the moment Sakura lowers her gaze, her expression stiffens.
先輩って。
Sakura is staring at my left hand. I look down and see blood trickling from it.
あれ？
Huh? Pull up my shirt sleeve. Yep, blood.
なんだこれ。昨日の夜ガラクタいじってて切ったかな。
But I don't feel any pain. It's like there's a welt on my hand. The bruise stretches all the way from my shoulder to the back of my hand. It looks like a snake that's trying to reach my palm from the top of my shoulder.
痛みもないし、すぐに効くだろう。大丈夫。気にするほどじゃない。
はい。先輩がそう言うのでしたら、気にしません。
The sight of the blood probably made Sakura sick, since she's keeping her head down. Sakura heads to the club while I head to the school building. The schoolyard is filled with athletic club's members training. This morning is practically brimming with enthusiastic energy. But something feels strange. Because, yeah, this should be the actual day where...
The blood fort, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Everything in the school is as usual. Students exercising for morning practice are lively, and the new school building is spotless.
気のせいか、これ。
But when I close my eyes, the mood changes drastically. The building walls feel stained, like membranes have latched onto them, and the students themselves seem like empty dolls.
疲れてるのかな、おい。
Or it's so simple. I shake my head to clear it and head onto campus. School ends early on Saturdays.
Right,
Classes
that
end
was
in
the catch.
Yeah.
They go on Saturdays, but it's half a day. That's right.
Mm-hmm. Classes end in the morning, but by the time I finish helping Issei, the sun is starting to set.
そろそろ帰るか。
I pack my bag and leave the classroom. But then...
なんだ、まだ学校にいたんだ、エミヤ。
Yeah,
Not you.
That's not surprising, because he is in fact supposed to be here for the next incident. I run into Shinji. There are a few girls behind him making a small commotion.
やることもないくせに、まだ残ってたの？ああ、そうか。また生徒会にごますってたわけね。いいね、エミヤは。部活なんてやんなくても内心稼げるんだからさ。
生徒会の手伝いじゃないぞ。学校の備品を直すのは生徒として当たり前だろ。使ってるのは俺たち。
よく言うよ。エミヤに言わせればなんだって当たり前だからね。そういういい子ぶりが勘に触るって前に言わなかったっけ？
すまん。よく覚えていない。それ、シンジの口癖だと思っていたから、どうも聞き流してたみたいだ。
Dang.
そうかい。それじゃあ学校にあるものなら何でも直してくれるんだ、エミヤは。
何でも直すなんて無理だ。せいぜい面倒見るぐらいだが。
よし。なら頼まれてくれよ。うちの弓道場さ、今割と散らかってるんだよね。弦も巻いてないのが溜まってるし。
I'm gonna go raid the kitchen and pray that there's no dialogue that involves Shiro cursing.
It's fine, I'll sort it out.
暇ならさ、そっちの方もよろしくやってくれないかな。元弓道部員だろ。生徒会になんか尻尾振ってないで、たまには僕たちの役に立ってくれ。
ちょっと先輩、それって先輩が藤村先生に言われてたことじゃなかった？
Pack it up, go home. Get wrecked, kid.
そうですよ。ちゃんとやっておかないと明日怒られますよ。
でもさ、今から片付けしてたら店閉まるじゃん。そこの人がやってくれるんならそれでいいんじゃないの？
That's just the thing though, that guy is not offering.
悪いよ。それに部外者に後片付けなんかできるわけないし。 そうでもないんじゃない？あの人元弓道部員だってシンジが言ってるしさ。任せちゃえばいいのよ。
Really? The girls behind Shinji are awfully chatty. They seem to be Kyoto Club members, but since I don't recognize any of them, they must be the members Shinji recruited recently.
じゃああとはよろしく。鍵の場所は変わってないから勝手にやっといてよ。文句ないよね、エミヤ。
Tell him no, tell him no, you got this, champ.
なあ、構わないよ。どうせ暇だったからたまにはこういうのも悪くない。
サンキュー。それじゃあ行こうぜみんな。つまんない雑用はあいつがやっといてくれるってさ。
待ってよ先輩。じゃああとはよろしくお願いしますね先輩。
I cleaned the Kyoto dojo without any problem since I'm familiar with it. It's a big room, so it takes a while, but it was kind of fun cleaning the place I used to spend so much time in until a year and a half ago. Midway through, I considered trying to shoot a bit, but decided not to. It would be rude to the owner of the bow. If I want to shoot, all I have to do is bring in my own bow and visit. I look at the time. It's way past curfew. A little after 7, the school gates must be closed by now, so there's no need for me to rush out. Now that I look closely, I don't remember the dojo being so dirty before. There's dirt and grime all over the place, like behind the bow rest in the club room.
ここまで来たら1時間も2時間も変わらないか。
I've already started, so I might as well clean every nook and cranny. Bless your diligent soul. The wind is starting to pick up. It's so cold my cheeks start to sting. The Yuki typically isn't cold at night during winter, but tonight's certainly an exception. My breath fogs the air with every exhale.
なんだ、暗いと思ったら月が隠れてるのか。
I look up and there's no light in the sky. The strong wind sends the clouds speeding across the night sky. Curfew is long past and there's no sign of life in the empty school. Oh, there we go. Not so much as a sound can be heard on campus, and it seems to be covered with colder air than any place in town. Oh yeah, that fight should be happening right about now. I think I heard some.
確かに聞こえる。校庭の方か。
That night, under the frosty sky, I guess I just got curious about the sound that broke the hushed silence, so I headed toward the sound to investigate. I go to the schoolyard.
人？
It looks that way, at least from a distance. It's just so darn dark. I need to get closer if I want to find out more. Sounds grow louder, more intense. I know that sound. It's clashing metal. Sounds like a fight.
バカバカしい。何考えてるんだ、俺。
Exactly, rule 1 of horror movies and anything in between. Whenever something sounds sus, do not go to investigate. That's how you get got. I'm being stupid, obviously. Who would ever fight in a schoolyard with weapons like that? And then, it was probably a gut instinct that sensed the danger, or maybe keeping it out of sight as I approached was just a stroke of luck. Whatever the reason, I hid behind a tree big enough to conceal me and took a closer look at the source of the sound. There, my mind froze. I can't comprehend what I'm seeing. A man in red and a man in blue. AKA red versus blue. Let me stop. The two of them are clad in armor so ancient it's several steps beyond old-fashioned. It's a ridiculous sight, but their rapid, deadly movements make clear that their fight is no joke.
Oh good, I got here in time. Any swearing?
There was one.
Okay, I'm sure you made it work.
Yeah. It's like, I've gone this entire life making it work. What's a few more?
Well, don't worry, from here on out, I got it.
Perfect. I don't understand. I can't even follow their movements. They're too fast.
Dragon Ball Z speed, got it.
Exactly. Their movements look so surreal, my mind can't function properly. The sound of their clashing weapons is the only thing convincing me the two of them are actually fighting to the death. Well, there's one thing I'm sure about. They're not human. They have to be something else in the guise of humans. My magecraft training isn't why I know this. Anyone can see that these two aren't human. To start, humans just can't move like that. Nobody should get involved with whatever that is. I can feel their intent to kill, even from this distance. I'm going to die. My body instinctively knows before my brain kicks in that I won't live if I stay here. My racing heart is proof of that. I sense they're living things designed only to kill. No knife or blade could be a match for whatever they're wielding. They are clearly meant only to kill. I suddenly remember yesterday's murders. The family that fell victim is said to have been killed by a bladed weapon. I shouldn't stay and watch another second. Yeah, what was your first clue? But I can't move a muscle. I can hardly breathe. My mind is telling me to flee, but something else tells me they'll find me the second I move. More than any internal conflict though, I'm just paralyzed. I'm more than 40 meters away from them, but I still imagine getting stabbed in the back with that spear. I can't breathe. The sound stopped. The two figures separate and stand, facing each other. Just as I'm starting to feel a sense of relief that the fight's over, another, stronger sense of malice creeps over me. My heart feels like it's shriveled up in my chest. The numbness in my body turns to convulsions, and I clench my teeth in an effort to compose myself. A nauseatingly high amount of magical energy flows into the man in blue. Hiritsugu once demonstrated to me how to draw in magical energy from one's surroundings. It was a kind of magecraft so beautiful that it impressed even an apprentice mage like me. But this is different. The same way even the simple act of drinking water can look revolting if done excessively. The man in blue appears to be binge-eating. The sight is so extreme that anyone with magical energy would find it repulsive. He's going to die. The man in red is dead meat. The attack will be infused with more magical energy than anyone could possibly defend against. He's going to die. That inhuman something in the guise of a man is going to die. But can I? Can I just let this happen? The question shakes me out of my paralysis. My body is suddenly free and I take a deep breath.
Uh-oh.
Nani? The man in blue glares in my direction. The man in blue crouches in a way that tells me one thing. I'm his new target. My legs are moving before I even have the thought of running. The rest of my body finally realizes it's time to flee for my life, and suddenly, all of my energy is being poured into doing exactly that. I don't remember where I ran through or how I got there, but I'm in the school building. Yeah. I regret my own actions as I huff and puff. I should have run towards town. I've got to be the world's biggest idiot, thinking I can escape by running into an empty building. A school, of all places, where there must have been other, better places to hide.
And what the hell convinced me I'd die if I didn't run to begin with?
Yeah. My chest burns from all the running. I turn around, but I don't sense anything pursuing me. The only sound is my own footsteps. I can finally stop. My feet can barely move another step. I gulp down lungfuls of air, trying to slow my heart down, and I breathe a sigh of relief. I survive.
何だったんだ今の
Try to recall what I just saw as I catch my breath. One thing's for sure, I definitely wasn't meant to see that. Things that looked human fighting in the schoolyard at night. That's all I can really remember. But I'd seen something else out the corner of my eye.
もう一人誰かいた気がするけど
I can't remember what they looked like though. Honestly, I couldn't afford to look at anything other than the two figures locked in combat.
これでともかく
追いかけっこは終わりだろ
Whoops. The voice comes from right in front of me.
いや割と遠くまで走ったなお前
Don't you censor his yo to be a hey? Hold on. Sorry, I take offense every time I see that.
Understandable. I can't breathe. My mind goes blank. I can't think. But I know that I'm going to die.
逃げられないってのはお前自身が誰よりも分かってたんだろ何やられる側ってのは得てしてそういうもんだ別に恥じることじゃない
And with that, he raises his spear.
運が悪かったな坊主ま見られたからには死んでくれ
Hey, oh, no mercy, no compassion. His spear pierces my heart. I didn't even have time to dodge. No training I ever did prepared me for this. I knew I was going to die. I knew the spear was going to impale me, but I couldn't move. The world distorts around me. My body grows cold. Numbness creeps from my fingertips into the rest of me.
I'm gonna put the pizza down because I know how this goes.
Okay.
You're gonna need me in a second.
Oh, I see. I cough up blood once. A clock. I felt like there should have been more, but it was just one cough. That spear must have been special. My blood slows and grows stagnant. My heart just stops. All from a single strike of that spear. I can't see anything. I don't feel anything. I'm like a jellyfish floating in the dark sea at night. I stopped feeling pain long ago. The world has turned white, and I'm the lone dark spot. So rather than being aware that I died, it just feels like everything around me has ceased to exist. I know this. I experienced the same thing 10 years ago. This is what
死
dying
人に
feels
口
like.
なしってな弱いやつがくたばるのは当然といえば当然だが
My eyes can't focus.
嫌な仕事をさせてくれる。このざまで英雄とは笑い草だ。
Sounding mildly remorseful.
I mean, anybody can have a bad boss, right?
True.
I mean, look at Vegeta. Wait, Vegeta might be a little too high a bar for this series, but anybody can have a really bad boss.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I can only hear his voice.
文句はないさ。女のサーバントは見たんだ。おとなしく戻ってやれよ。
He sounds so irritated. Afterwards, I hear footsteps fading down the hallway.
蹴りをつけておきたいところだが、マスターの方針を破るわけにもいくまい。まったく、いけすかねえマスターだこと。
The voice suddenly disappears. He must have jumped out the window. Afterwards, the footsteps I heard earlier stopped. There's an awkward silence. And footsteps again. I can't hear that well anymore.
追ってアーチャー。ランサーはマスターのところに戻るはず。せめて相手の顔ぐらい把握しないと。
I don't know who's talking. Though I know, you know. I muster up all of my concentration as my mind fades, but I still can't put my finger on it. All I can hear now is the sound of my breathing. My lungs must still be functioning. I hear a loud whistling sound coming from my mouth, like a passing typhoon.
その割にはまだ死んでないってのはすごいな。
I sense somebody peering into my face. My breathing must be loud as the person reaches their finger out to try to close my mouth.
やめてよね。なんだってあんたが。
Whoever it is, they grit their teeth, seeming troubled. The moment I hear that sound, the person touches me without hesitation.
破損した臓器を寄贈して代用。その間に心臓一つ丸々修復か。こんなの成功したら時計塔に一発合格ってレベルじゃない。
The voice sounds distressed, but at that moment, my fading consciousness finally flickers to nothing. Sensation returns to my body. Slowly, little by little, my bodily functions return, like dewdrops trickling down a leaf. Drip, drip. What's going on? The person hovering over me is sweating, intensely focusing on whatever their hands are pressed against my chest. The next thing I know, the palm over my chest grows extremely hot. It's so hot, my corpse jolts and my cold, stagnated blood starts to flow again. I sense the person take a deep breath and sit down.
疲れた。
Clink. I hear something fall.
まあ仕方ないか。ごめんなさい、父さん。あなたの娘はとんでもなく薄情者です。
That was it. The person mocks himself and leaves. My heart resumes beating. And then I finally pass out. But it's not the everlasting sleep I expected. I fall into a slumber, bound to wake again. I wake suddenly. I feel sick and my entire body aches. Every time my heart beats, a sharp pain stabs my head.
何が起きた。
My intense headache prevents me from remembering anything. My body is cold and stiff, likely because I've been sleeping in the hallway for a long time. The only thing I can figure out is that the chest area of my uniform is torn, and my blood stains the hall floor. My head feels hazy as I get up. The spot where I've been lying looks like a murder scene. Clean up on our 9th grade. I don't know what hallway he's in.
くそ本当に
Was my chest stabbed? I fight down a surge of nausea as I head down to a nearby classroom. Staggering, I open a closet and pull out a rag and bucket.
What are you doing, bro?
Imagine getting stabbed literally to death, coming back from said death and being like, hold on, let me go clean up this mess that was me.
Let me go clean up the bloodstains that came out of my body from
Before I
being
go
dead.
home. Lord have mercy.
Imagine being so autistic you don't want to inconvenience the police officers.
Dang.
何してんだろう俺
I'm still confused. I encountered something unbelievable. Nope.
何してんだろう
There we go. And one of these buttons was the blog. Okay, there we go. Staggering open a closet, pull out a rack and bucket, and I'm still confused. Alright. I encountered something unbelievable. Then it murdered me. But here I am, still trying to clean up after myself. How stupid can I be? Glad you understand.
くそ落ちない
Yeah?
Lemon Pledge and Alka-Seltzer for blood. Or wear red, dumbass.
Dang. I don't think wearing red will work for the floor.
Put a red carpet, no one's gonna notice.
Students come
One
back. Wow.
single red carpet on that one single spot.
Yeah, it's not even going down the entire hallway, just that one square.
It's like when you knock over a lamp, so you just rearrange the entire kitchen and act like that lamp never existed. Then mom gets home, like, "Where's the lamp? What lamp?"
Gosh. Oh, that's funny. I managed to wipe off the blood despite the incredible weakness in my whole body, then gather up everything scattered around the floor and shove it in my pockets. This may be my way of hiding any evidence. Must be doing such stupid stuff because my head's all hazy. Yeah. I put the rag and bucket away and stagger out the school like a zombie. My body heats up with every step I take. It's so cold outside, yet my body seems to be on fire.
You're sick, buddy. You probably got an infection. Your heart was touching open air.
Or what remained of it was. Poor Pit.
Listen, you don't know where that spear's been.
By the time I reach my house, the date has changed. There's nobody in the house. Sakura and even Fujine left long ago. I collapse on the floor.
At least it's soft.
Yeah. Lie on the floor is what lets me finally calm down a bit. I inhale deeply. My heart feels like it cracks every time my chest expands to draw in air. Actually, it's the opposite. It's not that my heart is cracking. The hole in my heart was just patched up, so expanding my chest opens the wound.
殺されかけたのは本当か。
Yeah, I really was almost killed. That's also not true. I wasn't almost killed. I was killed. But someone saved me, and now I'm
誰
alive.
だったんだあれ。礼ぐらい言わせてほしいもんだけど。
If they were in the area, it means they could have been involved with the people fighting. But it still doesn't change the fact that they saved me, so I need to thank them properly one day. The moment I drop my guard, the pain returns. At the same time, nausea strikes me. I sit up to hold the nausea at bay. I place my hand on my bare chest where the uniform is torn. I might have been saved, but my chest was, as a matter of fact, pierced. That feeling, the agony of the spear tip piercing my chest, isn't something I can easily
くそ
forget.
しばらく夢に見るぞこれ。
Does it beat the fire?
Good question. I think it will for the time being. Until eventually the two probably join forces.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm. When I close my eyes, I feel the spear thrust again. Whoops.
くそしばらく夢に見るぞこれ。
Go. I try to shake that delusion off, and I make every effort to regain my composure. Good.
よし落ち着いてきた。
Very good, very good. This must be thanks to my nightly training. My thoughts clear as I take slow, deep breaths. The fever and nausea abate a bit.
それであれのことだけど。
The man in blue and the man in red. They looked human, but I know they're not. They could have been ghosts of some kind.
Not inaccurate, I guess.
Yeah, it's a loose definition, but it could technically apply. But I've never heard of ghosts having forms that allow them to interact with humans like that. Okay, so that means you gotta upgrade it from a ghost to like a ghast.
From Ghost to Ring Girl, you know?
Imagine Ring Girl with a giant spear.
Oh no.
Fine. And the thing was talking, which makes it a little harder to believe it was a ghost, if it had a will of its own. From what I've heard, the only spirits that possess physical bodies are the elemental types. But I thought elementals didn't look human.
問題はそんなじゃなくて。
You're getting caught up on the bushes in the forest, my guy.
There's a more fundamental issue. Those two were trying to kill each other. And there was a robbery and a murder at a house nearby. Eerie stuff like that has been plaguing for Yuki lately. With all this in mind, the only conclusion I can come up to is that the situation is out of my control.
こんな時親父が生きてれば。
I guess that was kind of whining, but I put it down to the patched up chest wound that still feels so raw.
間 け。わからなくても自分にできることをやるって決めてるじゃないか。
I can complain later. First of all, I need to decide whether I should get involved or not. Nutty. The bell on the rooftop of the house rings. No matter what anyone says, this house is still a mage's house. A bounded field is set around it, and if there's ever an intruder in the area, an alarm
こん
rings.
な時に泥棒か。
I berate myself for my own idiocy. Of course, it's not a burglar. Given the timing, right after that weird incident, there's definitely an intruder. It's no burglar. It's an assassin. They're here to take my life, not property. Because that man said so himself. You saw what you saw, so you gotta die. The house is dead silent. The same murderous intent I felt at school creeps closer through the hushed darkness. I gulp. A chill prickles like needles along my spine. It's no illusion, and it's not my imagination. I know that the moment I leave this room, I'll be stabbed again. I desperately tried to contain my scream. The instant I scream, the assassin will just leap right in and kill me. And that would just be a repeat of what happened before. I'm not prepared, and I'm going to be impaled again. My breathing grows labored as soon as that crosses my mind. I'm mad. I'm mad at myself for being afraid, and I'm mad that I put myself in a situation where I'd so easily lose my life after it was saved earlier the same.
Damn day.
I grip my teeth and hold my hand tight over my wounded chest to restrain myself. I need to get used to this. This is the second time. This is the second time I'm about to die. That alone motivates me not to die so pathetically as last time. Am I not a mage after all? If I can't even defend myself from this, what were my 8 years of training for?
やってやろうじゃないか。
I'm not going to agonize over complicated things anymore. Right now, I just need to drive away whoever's
ま
here.
ずは武器をどうにかしないと。
I may call myself a mage, but the only thing I can do is reinforce something that might work as a weapon. I need a weapon to fight, after all. There's plenty of things that might work as a weapon in the storehouse, but I'm not anywhere near there. If I leave the living room and get ambushed, I'm just going to expose myself and it'll be a repeat of what happened earlier. It won't be easy, but I've got to find a weapon here. Something long and thin would be good. My opponent's weapon of choice is a spear, so a knife would be all but useless. A wooden sword would be best, but I obviously don't have one just lying around. You're telling me that you don't keep weapons in just every room of your house? That's crazy.
He just said he can't use the knife.
Hey, you can have swords and other types of weapons just casually lying about.
Listen, this is a samurai estate, not a ninja estate.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Something around here that might be suitable as a weapon.
藤姉が置いてったポスターしかね
It was made of metal, that's right.
That's true. Went and bonked him in the head with it. I can't help but feel utterly dejected, but the desperation makes me all the more determined. Situation's so bad it can't really get any worse. Then all that's left for me to do is to move forward until I have no energy left.
トレス
I speak my incantation and I inject magical energy into the rolled up 60 centimeter poster. Okay, roughly 2 feet. Alright, alright. I try to imbue as much magical energy as I possibly can into the poster to solidify it, since it needs to work as a weapon to go up against that spear.
構成材質解明
I focus my consciousness. Magical energy permeates the poster as if I'm staining its fibers with my own
構
blood.
成材質補強
I feel that I've hit the end. Right before magical energy spreads throughout the poster and spills out, I say,
トレスオフ
I cut off my connection with the poster. I tremble with excitement. The poster is as hard as steel, but its weight remains the same as before. It turned out great for a hastily improvised
うま
sword.
くいった
Yeah, see what you can do whenever your life is on the line?
He comes through when it counts. He messes
Indeed.
up the little things, but when he needs something big,
He's got it. How long has it been since my strengthening magecraft succeeded? My magecraft hasn't worked ever since Kirisugu died, and so for it to succeed at a time like this seems ironic.
ともあれこれで
I may be able to defend myself. I at least have some discipline and swordsmanship. I grip the poster with both hands and stand in the middle of the living room. If I stay here, I'm dead, but I don't think I can make it outside the mansion either. So I just need to head to the shed and make a stronger weapon there. Just as I'm starting to hype myself up, every hair of my body stands on end. I'm not sure when he got in, but the guy drops from the ceiling straight towards me. Dang. Boy
Dodge
out
roll.
here playing Dark Souls, plunging attack. That's crazy. A silvery flash strikes my head from above. I can only assume that he came through the ceiling, which, makes sense. And he descends on me, meaning to skewer my head. I roll forward in a frantic dodge. Hey, he was listening. The man lands with inhuman grace as I clumsily roll out the way.
oh, he fat rolled. Oh no!
Yeah. Even though he's only holding a poster, that still was too heavy.
It's a very, very metal poster now.
Yeah. I stop myself quickly and get to my feet, makeshift sword at the ready. The guy turns lazily, looking
余
bored.
計な手間を見えていればいたかろうと俺なりの配慮だったのだがな
He shifts the spear to his other hand in a slow, fluid movement. I don't know why, but he doesn't seem as aggressive as he did at the school, which might give me a chance at escaping him.
まったく一日に同じ人間を二度殺す羽目になるとはないつになろうと人の世は血生臭いということか
Yeah. He's complaining to himself, like I'm not even here. I truly retreat back out of the room. Only 3 more meters until I reach the window. I run out, then it's only about 20 meters to the shed once I reach the yard. Then I should
Jana.
quickly.
今度こそ迷うなよ坊主
Oh. Says it almost absent-mindedly, like it was just an afterthought. Pain shoots up my right arm. It happens in an instant. He thrusts his spear forward, not even giving me time to react. I should have died for a second time right there. My makeshift sword in my hand spared me that fate. He probably thought I'd just been holding up a rolled up paper. Struck it as if I hadn't even been holding anything at all, but the reinforced paper sword reflected the attack, so it only grazed my arm.
ほう、変わった芸風だな、おい。
His expression goes blank. His casual attitude from earlier vanishes entirely. He watches me now like a feral animal eyeing its prey.
Crap.
I was clearly wrong, thinking things would be okay. Yeah, you were a little optimistic.
He's trying.
He is. That is what has allowed him to live so long. Though how much longer, that's another story. This thing before me is some kind of demon, unbound by logic. I keenly realized that letting my guard down even for a second was beyond ludicrous. That's right. Desperate as things are, I should have just made a break for the window right after whatever miracle let me dodge a strike from above.
ただの坊主かと思ったが、なるほど。微弱だが魔力を感じる。心臓をうがたれて生きているってのはそういうことか。
The end of his spear points towards me. I can't block that. There's no way I'll be able to block that swift attack. I could have at least braced myself if he had a sword, no matter how fast he might be with it. But he's holding a spear. A sword is like a whole line, but a spear is only a point. How am I supposed to block a point when I can't even see how fast it moves?
いいぜ。少しは楽しめそうじゃないか。
The man drops to a lower stance. In a flash, the spear swings in sideways. I instinctively parried the blow aimed at my face.
いい子だ。ほら次行くぞ。
It's a cyclone. I'm not sure how he's moving his spear in this small room, but it traces a beautiful arc without even touching the walls. The next swing comes from the opposite side, aiming at my torso. The force of the swing bends my makeshift sword as I try to parry. Monstrous. Is that a hammer he's swinging?
Damn.
The numbness in my arms is telling me that they might be broken. Dang.
Oop.
I instinctively swing my sword. He must be mocking me with the way he keeps flicking his spear at my sword without drawing back at all. Numbness creeps into my arms after going on the attack. My makeshift sword bends even more and the man's spear changes trajectory slightly.
使えねえな。機械をくれてやったのに無駄な真似しやがって。まあ、魔術師に切り合いを望んでも仕方ねえんだろうが。
I mean, yeah. He moves like this is just a game. Such confidence. Then let me take a swing at him after he took a couple shots at me. I wasted my one opportunity as nothing more than a stopgap. So he sees no point in continuing this.
拍子抜けだ。やはりすぐに死ねよ、坊主。
The man raises his spear again. During that microscopic opening, I daren't turn back to look. I just leap backwards through the window. My back shatters the window and I roll out into the yard. I roll a few times, sprinting upward, and I blindly make my next move. I twist my entire body, swinging behind myself. Nice. Well done, kiddo. I managed to bat the man's spear aside as he hesitates for just an instant. I knew it. If I jumped out the window, he was going to have to chase after me, and he would catch up to me and go in for the kill before I had a chance to get up. So I expected his fatal blow and swung my sword to the side with all my might. It was a risky move. He'd have killed me if I had been even a second late, and I'd been just as dead if I was early too. But knowing the incredible gap in our skill, I figured there was no way I could have been early. Yeah, that's true. The only thing I had to do was get up as quickly as I could and parry the attack I knew would be coming at my back. The gamble pays off and my swing deflects his spear. I quickly repositioned myself. Now I just need to run to the shed while he's still confused.
飛べ。
Honey. He's not holding the spear anymore now, and he's right in front of me. He turns on the spot. Dang. He turns on the spot in a roundhouse kick. Wow. I'm seeing stars. And not the metaphorical kind. Scenery goes flying by. My chest goes numb where he kicked me. I can't breathe. The biggest surprise? I'm actually flying through the air. I never thought a guy kicking me would send me into the air.
Like a damn ball.
Yeah.
The Shed-kun!
Yeah. Thanks for the assist, buddy. I would not like to fly Air Lance again.
Air Lancer!
I fall hard on my back. I slam into a wall, the impact likely breaking my back, and slide down to the ground. I can't breathe. My vision blurs. By a stroke of luck, he's thrown me into the shed I wanted to reach. I lean against the wall, trying to rouse myself. I tried to track the man through blurry eyes. He kicked me nearly 20 meters away. Dang, that's crazy. The guy picks his spear up and rushes straight at me.
I want to see the D20 rolls for this shit.
Yeah?
I want to know what result the DM landed on to send him in this direction. Because it had to
Yeah.
have been a D8, right?
Yeah, that's the standard. Yeah. North, south, east, west, and then the...
Everything mixed.
Yeah. So, yeah. Got lucky and hit that, whatever on the D8 is just right behind him. So I guess technically speaking, it was just right behind him, so the odds aren't that bad that he would have gone flying towards the shed, if not straight into it like he did. But yeah, I agree. Odds, insane.
I want to know how many 1s and 2s Lancer rolled for this entire encounter.
Because we know our boy has been rolling that 20s like his life depends on it.
And it
'Cause
does!
It does. Exactly. There's nothing I can do now. He's going to reach me. If I don't want to die, I need to get up and parry his hit. The tip of the spear surges. I can't even look back at him. My body on the verge of collapse practically greets the spear.
男だったらちゃんと立ってる。
He just hit the door open.
Nice. What a nice guy. What dumb luck. My knees gave out and I can't hold myself up. The spear goes over my head and violently impales the shed's heavy door, pushing it open. And this is my last chance. If only I could get inside the shed, there should be something I could use as a weapon. I crawl into the shed on all fours. Just then,
そら、これでしまいだ。
He launches the spear at me. Oh, he threw it. I see. I block it. I open up the rolled up poster to create a single-use shield. The impact makes a dull sound. The poster, unrolled, probably isn't as strong. It blocks the spear, but it tears apart, returning to a normal bit of paper. The spear's impact flees me against the wall. Yeah, that sounds about right. I fall on my butt and try to get my heart beating again after it feels like it's trying to quit on me. The moment I raise my head to try to grab some to use as a weapon.
爪だ。今のは割と驚かされたぜ、坊主。
The man points his spear in front of my face. I can't do anything else now. His spear is pointed directly at my heart. I know this feeling. It's the scent of death assailing my nostrils, reminding me of the pain I felt a few hours ago.
しかし、わからねえな。起点は効くくせに魔術はからっきしときた。筋はいいようだが、まだ若すぎたか。
Oh, thanks for the compliment. You should let me live to get stronger. Then we can try this again another day. I don't hear the man's voice. My attention is focused on the weapon pointed at me. Obviously. The moment he thrusts, I'm dead. What else is there to think of at
も
this
しや
point?
とは思うが、お前が7人目だったのかもな。ま、だとしても、これで終わりなんだが。
His arm jerks. I wasn't able to see his movements earlier, but now I see every last one in slow motion. There's a bolt of silvery light. The tip seems like it's being drawn towards my heart. Blood will gush from the wound in just a second. I know this feeling. The sensation of iron piercing my body. That taste of blood that will well up in my throat. The feeling of the world around me fading. I experienced all of it earlier today. And now I'm going to have to experience it again? Really? I don't understand. Why do I have to be the one who goes through this?
I can take it from here, buddy.
All right.
He's gonna go on a tirade. This is
As he
bullshit.
should.
No, I can't die in a vein in a place like this. I was saved. If I was saved, I can't just die like this. I need to live to fulfill my obligations. I won't be able to do that if I'm dead. The spear's still going to impale me, though. The tip will tear through my flesh, break my ribs, and bore into my heart.
Oh, whoops.
I'm mad. It shouldn't be so damn easy to kill people like this. I'm gonna die, and it's bullshit. I'm gonna die twice in a single goddamn day.
Dang. Imagine.
Everything is fucking bullshit. I'm gonna die. I didn't even have the opportunity to be afraid of this whole goddamn mess.
ふざけるな。俺は。
I think he's done.
Okay. I'm not going to let myself die senselessly. To the likes of you! Yeah, it's absolutely the right word for this moment. Like magic. A figure appears out of a bright light shining from above me. I can't think. All I know is that the figure is a girl. I hear a high-pitched sound, and the moment the figure appears, it pushes aside the spear pressed at my heart and steps between me and the man without missing a beat.
7人目のサーバントだと。
He tries to regain his composure after his spear is pushed aside as the girl brandishes something in her hand. Sparks fly. Hard metal clashes and sparks fly again. The man stomps his foot after blocking the woman's attack. You mad, bro? He must have realized he's at a disadvantage because he leaps out of the storehouse with bestial agility. She must intimidate him, but she quietly turns towards me.
Hello again, ma'am.
Whoa, it is she.
It's SpongeBob, not Doodle Bob.
Yes,
I
exactly.
I deeply missed this classic art style of Takeuchi, by the way. Like the way he draws them, lovely.
It is fantastic. The wind is strong today. The clouds slide away and the moon shines through for a brief instant. The silver moonlight shines into the shed, illuminating the girl, who appears like a knight. I'm speechless. And it's not because I'm confused by all the things that just happened. The girl before me is so astonishingly beautiful that I'm at a loss for words. The girl's eyes, like precious jewels, stare at me without emotion.
あなたが私のマスターか
Local Japanese boy meets white woman for the first time, immediately love struck.
It do be like that sometimes. How that one? This one. Her voice sounds so valiant.
マスター
I can only repeat her words back to her. I don't understand what she's saying, nor do I know who she is. All I know is that the slender, delicate looking girl is similar to the man outside. She says nothing, continuing to look at me in silence. I don't know how to describe her. She's special. So special that I forget entirely about the man outside, even though he might attack at any moment. Time seems to have stopped. Even the fear of death I felt moments ago vanishes, and there is only the girl standing before me.
サーバントセーバー召喚に従い参上した
I mean, we knew, but like, it's nice that she said it.
Indeed. Indeed.
マスター指示を
It's the second time she speaks, and the moment I hear the word master and the name Saber echoes in my mind. Or ears. Ah, new achievement. Became Saber's master. Nice. Pain shoots through my left hand. It's hot, like being branded by an iron. I unconsciously press the back of my left hand. Taking that as a sign, the girl silently nods her beautiful head.
これより我が剣はあなたと共にありあなたの運命は私と共にある
What a homie. Trading my destiny with her sword? That's crazy.
ここに契約は完了した
契約って何の
Still a mage in training, so I understand what those words mean. But the girl doesn't respond to my question. She simply looks away with the same grace she'd shown when she nodded. She turns towards the shed's ruined door. Outside, the man readies his spear.
Arguably, a slightly worse Master Servant introduction than Archer. She's not explaining diddly to him.
Yeah. Though to be fair, this is not the time for monologues, explanations, or anything in between.
She did save his life. This is fair. Archer kind
Yeah.
of just showed up and wrecked the place, and then made tea as apology.
Yeah. Also, in this case, there is a clearly openly hostile person right outside the shed.
A certain blue boy, a blue bomber, if you would.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The girl in knight's armor leaps out of the shed without hesitation. I forget about the pain I feel and get up to follow her. She can't possibly go up against that guy. No matter how heavily armored she is, she's smaller than I am. The echoing claim drowns out my words. I can't believe what I'm seeing. My head really does go blank this time.
なんだあいつ。
She's Saber. She told you this. The clash of swords echoes around me. The moon slips behind the cloud and the yard grows dark once again. And within the darkness, sparks fly as steel strikes steel. Without saying a word, the spear-wielding man meets the girl who leapt from the shed. She parries his spear and knocks away his other successive attacks, driving him back with each attack. I can't believe it. This girl's saber is somehow overpowering the man. The battle has begun. What happened between that man and I earlier doesn't even count as battle. A battle? That's a fight between two people each capable to kill each other. No matter the difference in ability, it can still be called a battle as long as both are able to kill the other. In that sense, these two are fighting a battle. The man attacks her, swinging his spear so quickly I can't even see his strikes. Somehow, she parries each and every attack perfectly, with something as she closes in on him. Oh yeah, that's right. Her blade is made of like moonlight, right?
It looked like it was wrapped in wind.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. The man backs up slightly, clicking his tongue hatefully. He holds the spear vertically to ward off her attacks on the side.
Look at that shot!
I know. Go get it, girl.
Also, you probably thought Moonlight Sword because you had Dark Souls on the mind with the rolling.
You're right. That is, in fact, what did the trick. That is, in fact, what did it.
I need you to understand, Elden Ring character had the saber hairstyle every time. You can't stop me.
Perfect. For a moment, his spear glows. His attack almost looks like it caused an explosion. The man's spear sparks as if electrified every time whatever weapon the girl is wielding strikes it. The man and I both could tell what it is. It's furious magical energy so dense it can actually be seen. Her attacks are charged with incredible amounts of magical energy. The unbelievable amount of magical energy crackles along her opponent's weapon every time they make contact. The sheer force of her attacks must be staggering. If the man's spear strikes are precise like a sniper rifle, her blows must be like the overpowering blast of a shotgun.
This really is just a stand battle.
Yes.
Remember Josuke had the silenced SMG and then Jotaro was literally a fucking shotgun.
Yes. Yes. Each of the girls' attacks base a yard of flickering light, and yet, that's not what's overpowering the man.
He can't. He doesn't know how long it is.
Yeah. The man curses at the girl as he evades her unrelenting attacks. She doesn't respond other than to step up her attacks with her invisible weapon. The man retreats, having hardly so much as a chance to counterattack. A weapon is invisible. Without being able to determine the weapon's range, it'd be reckless to go in for an attack. That's the trouble with an invisible weapon. but she's definitely got something in her hand. I can't make out anything of its shape or length. Maybe it's transparent to begin with. No matter how many times sparks fly from it, I never get a look at the weapon's profile.
It really is a shame that invisibility only applies to creatures. Like, if you would apply it to your sword, that'd be great.
Right?
Just don't lose it.
True, but you know, that's where you have a party member with like detect magic or something.
Or even make it your packed weapon. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. There's many ways to accomplish that. Pairing her strikes must be taking a lot out of the man. His movements aren't as sharp as they had been. It's the first sound the girl makes. She attacks all the more furiously. It's a merciless, unyielding dance of blades. Those flying sparks remind me of a blacksmith striking iron. And the spear-wielding man continues defending himself as he disapprovingly clicks his tongue. Honestly, I can't help but to admire the man, even though he tried to kill me. He's able to defend himself from an invisible weapon relying only on reading the girl's swings and footwork. True. It is quite a feat unto itself. But that's all he can do. When an opponent is so completely on defense, the only thing you need to do is beat them down. The girl steps in closer. She smashes down, striking with all her might. Seeing his chance, the man disappears. Or rather, he retreats back as if to disappear. The girl's swing cuts through the air and smashes into the ground, kicking up dust. Her massive swing, which seemed to be a fatal blow against the cornered spearman, proved easy to dodge. Even I could tell what happened, even at this distance. Her careful, precise attacks early may have worn the man down, but the tremendous swing meant to deal the finishing blow wouldn't ever touch him. The relentless attacks must have put incredible strain on the man's body as he tried to defend himself. Yet he suppressed that pain for a single moment to jump away. He knew that her last attack would determine the victor. The man jumps back several meters, then comes in to strike once again the moment his feet touch the ground. He jumps in a triangular pattern and leaps towards the girl as if revising his step. The girl's sword is still embedded in the ground. It's a fatal opening. The red spear returns in less than a second. The girl twists her body around like a top while her sword is still embedded in the ground. The whole thing happens in a matter of seconds. The man sees his mistake and tries to correct, as the girl uses this brief moment to use her whole body to attack. Both the man and the girl seem unsatisfied though. Both struck intending to kill. Both survived, so everything leading to this moment was in vain. The two open a bit of distance between themselves. They both just quietly stare at each other. The strain the battle inflicted on them seems to be too much.
どうしたランサー止まっていては僧兵の名が泣こう。そちらが来ないのなら私が行くが。
Dang.
わざわざ死にに来るか。それは構わんが、その前に一つだけ聞かせろ。貴様の宝具、それは剣か。
He phrases his question so bluntly. He glares as if trying to look through her.
さあどうかな。
The smirk.
旋風かもしれぬし、 双剣かもしれぬ。い
Oh
や、
sure, Robin Hood.
も
Where's
し
the
や
merry
良いか
men?
もしれんぞ、ランさん。
Right?
抜かせセイバ
Somehow this conversation seems to be amusing him. The man called Lancer briefly lowers his spear. It looks as if he's saying he doesn't want to fight anymore. The girl seems puzzled by Lancer's move. But I know what this dance means. I remember the fight at school a few hours ago. It's the killer move that was supposed to have ended
ー。
the
ついでに
battle.
もう一つ聞くがな。お互い初見だしよ。ここらで分けって気はないか。
What a nice guy. Cut our losses and battle again another day.
悪い話じゃないだろう。そら、あそこでほうけているお前のマスターは使い物にならんし、俺のマスターとて姿を晒せねえ大ふぬけときた。ここはお互い万全の状態になるまで勝負を持ち越した方が好ましいんだが。
断る。あなたはここで倒れろ、ランサー。
Girl said, I play objective. Now you die.
That's a night for you, I guess.
Yeah.
そうかよ。たく、こっちはもともと様子見が目的だったんだぜ。サーバントが出たとあっちゃ、長居する気はなかったんだが。
Well, you should have left right whenever you jumped off the shed the first time. Would have been fine, probably. The air wavers. Their surroundings appear to distort. Lancer lowers his stance. A chill creeps into the air. The same thing happened earlier. Magical energy rumbles as it forms a vortex at the tip of the spear.
ホーグ。
The girl readies her weapon and glares at her enemy. I don't need to speak up. She knows very well how dangerous the enemy is. She is the one confronting him.
じゃあな、その心臓をもらい受ける。
The beast kicks the ground. Lancer appears in front of the girl so quickly he may as well have teleported. He takes his spear and aims at her feet. Even to me, that seems like a poor choice. I don't see any way an attack would be effective with the spear pointed at the ground in front of her feet. Apparently thinking the same, the girl leaps over the spear towards Lancer, intent to strike him down. But in that moment,
ゲイ
his words alone radiate immense magical energy.
ボルク
Yeah, I thought that's what he's going to say.
Do you know the spear?
I've heard of said spear. I have no clue on the legends surrounding it, but I've heard of such things.
Including no idea who uses it?
No, I do
That's okay. We'll get there.
not.
You just have to be just as confused as our red-headed boy over there.
I can do that real good. The spear released from below angles towards the girl heart. Honey. Her body hangs in the air. The blow sends her flying in a wide arc. She smashes heavily into the ground. Anger. She's bleeding. She had been unscathed until now, but her heart is pierced, and she is bleeding profusely. Dang, what? I guess this is why she is your servant. Both of y'all gotta have matching heart injuries, I guess.
Shit. Don't say it like that.
Oh, what else am I supposed to say? They both got the same exact heart injury in a matter of a few hours apart. She's known him for all of 5 minutes. Need I say more?
呪詛。いや、今のは因果の逆転か。
Honey? I'm just as bewildered. From watching from afar may have given me a better perspective on how bizarre that attack was. The spear had been aimed at her feet, I'm sure of that, but then it just changed direction, moving and stretching impossibly to pierce the girl's heart. And yet the spear itself neither stretched nor changed direction. It seemed bizarrely as if the spear had been thrust into her chest from the beginning, almost naturally.
Oh, he used a portent die.
Basically. It wasn't as simple as the spear changing its trajectory and piercing the heart. The spear didn't change course, it altered truth itself to make that happen. The moment he spoke those words and released his spear, the intent of piercing her heart had been realized. Essentially, the attack reversed cause and effect. The result of the attack piercing the victim's heart is predetermined. So the spear's trajectory is merely an afterthought to establish the facts. It's a demonic splinter that breaks through all defenses. The moment it determines the target, the spear pierces the heart every time it's used, without exception. How can anyone defend against such a completely insane attack? No matter what effort the target makes to evade, the spear will always pierce their heart, which makes it fatal. An accursed spear that always pierces the opponent when used. However, the girl evades by a hairbreadth. The spear did not penetrate her, but it didn't hit anything. It did penetrate her, but it didn't hit anything vital. There we go. Her actions in evading the spear seemed even more impossible than the spear itself. The moment the spear was thrust, the girl turned in reverse direction with an incredible effort of will and strength, as if she knew what was going to happen.
Defensive duelist.
Basically. She was either incredibly lucky or just had enough protection to dampen the spear's curse. I mean, she is in fact in armor, so not completely unreasonable.
I will say this.
Mhm.
In terms of fate servants, luck is a stat.
Perfect. As it should be. Nothing we love more than a lucky luck boy or girl. Whatever it is, the girl manages to avoid the fatal blow, and so survives Lancer's ultimate attack. The girl tries to get her labored breathing under control. Although she had been losing a lot of it, blood stopped seeping from her wound, and even the wound itself is closing up. So this is what a truly extraordinary person can do. Yeah, I would agree with that. I knew she wasn't normal, but she is even more than outstanding. In terms of her skills in the fight against Lancer, in terms of the incredible amount of magical energy she used for every attack, her body recovering on its own, she is obviously, undeniably, superior to Lancer. But that's only up until now. She may be healing even now, but her wounds are deep. If Lancer attacks now, she won't be able to defend herself. And yet, even though he's at an overwhelming advantage, Lancer doesn't move. He audibly grinds his teeth, and he glares at the girl. About being built different. His voice seems to rumble up from the ground itself.
ゲイボルク。オウミはアイルランドの光の巫女か。
Ireland's Child of Light.
I'm guessing you don't know what that means either.
No, I do not. But like having the country
How
And
the country, the name of the spear. That also, I want to point out he did call Rin lass,
you're
and
right.
he
You're right.
and he did call Archer mate, but I didn't want to say anything because I knew what country he was from.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. That's a good point. I
Ain't
totally
that right,
missed
mate?
up. Indeed. I totally missed those colloquial phrasings.
What a fascinating choice, because they know they couldn't give him an accent in the dub because there's no dub of it.
Yeah.
And in the in the actual anime, they just gave him regular American.
Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. But if I had to guess a random person's name,
Mhm.
well, no. Actually, I have no clue the country of origin. We'll revisit that one a little bit later.
Mhm, mhm.
Yes,
And
yes,
unlike Archer,
yes.
this is at least one that has a basis to work from soon.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Lancer's expression darkens. His hostility dissipates and he clicks his tongue in annoyance.
ドジったぜ。こいつを出すからには必殺でなけりゃやばいってのにな。まったく。有名すぎるのも考えものだ。
Okay, so this doesn't mean anything to you just yet, but if he's a famous Irish hero,
Yeah, also I did do a quick fact check on the name that I was thinking of. It's like, is this even Irish? Because I don't know. And because the name that came to mind was Ku Cullen. Yeah, because he's a random persona that you can get, so that's why I know his name.
Imagine Persona helping you this damn much. I'm guessing the Google Images gave something away.
No. Like I just searched the name, and then you know how like usually the first thing is from Wikipedia, and it's like this Irish hero, and I'm like, all right, that's good enough for me. It is in fact an Irish name, so I do not feel bad about disclosing my guess now.
That's okay.
Whether or not
that's
it's
okay.
correct, we shall see. But that's all I got.
I'm gonna let it out of the bag just because fucking he is in fact the only hero known to have used Gay Bulk. Unless we count his teacher, we don't have time to get into it right now.
Understandable. Fair enough. And then we'll leave it at that.
You got him though.
Nice.
Known as Ireland's dog, so to speak. Hence why he has so many bestial annotations to him that Archer noticed.
Yeah. And then all the various descriptions that our dear protagonist used as well, describing like his bestial senses and leaping like
He
a
does have the
beast.
eyes of like a really, really mean wolf, though.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily a dog, just legitimately a wolf.
Right.
Or maybe like a wolfhound. Wolfhounds are huge.
That they are. But I'll be right back. My watch is dying and it's like, give me power. So I'm gonna put down the charge. So by the time we finish, it should be charged.
Alright.
Okay, I'm back.
So, just as a point of reference, Irish
Mhm.
wolfhounds. I'm pasting this in the penthouse chat.
All right.
Look at the size of that lad.
Wow.
You
That's a
know,
big boy.
they're very big boys, but he's so fluffy you would never suspect his job.
Yeah, that's true.
The Irish love their dogs. A very famous quote from them is actually, "I trust any dog that doesn't like a human, and I don't trust any human that doesn't like a dog."
Understandable. I agree with the sentiment.
Also, I love that without the text, it's just the most intense, boring stare down.
Mm-hmm. The impressive mood lightens. Lester no longer seems to have any intent of attacking the wounded girl. He turns his back as he walks to the corner of the yard.
己の正体を知られた以上、どちらかが消えるまでやり合うのがサーバントのセオリーだが、あいにくうちの雇い主は臆病者でな。槍が交わされたのなら帰ってこい、なんて抜かしやがる。
Interesting. From wherever they're hiding, they're letting him know you should flee. Interesting.
逃げるのかランサー。
ああ、追ってくるのなら構わんぞセイバー。ただし、その時は決死の覚悟を抱いてこい。
Don't you talk big while running away?
He lightly bounces off the ground. It's a wonder how agile he can be, but Lancer jumps effortlessly over the fence and disappears before anyone can stop him.
待てランサー。
The injured girl turns and starts running in pursuit. Across the yard as fast as I can. If I don't stop her, she'll go after him and maybe get herself killed. Turns out I don't need to chase after her. She tries to jump over the wall, but the moment she crouches to jump, she doubles over and grabs her chest. Yeah, heart injuries or adjacent will do that for you.
Even if that was like in the collarbone or the shoulder, those are some very important bones, you know? There's a very good reason why shoulder injuries will often end a football career.
Yeah, yeah. I hurry over to check on her. Well, I'd intended to just approach and call out to her, but that went right out the window the moment I got nearer. She is completely unbelievable. The shining silver armor she wears looks extremely heavy. The clothing she's wearing, dated as he is a bright, vivid blue. I've never seen anything like it. No, her clothes are not what really enthralls me. She is absolutely beautiful. Her golden hair, illuminated by the moonlight, is extremely fine as spun gold. Her face is graceful with a trace of innocence, and her smooth white skin all but glows in the moonlight.
Why did you pause for the word white?
I was trying to make sure I was reading because I was about to just say the wrong thing.
Bro really is shocked at his first ever white woman encounter. I can't blame him. The first time I met a white girl, I was like, damn, I gotta date that. Using more polite words since we're on stream.
Oh my lord. I'm speechless. Her beauty completely takes my breath away. Seeing a girl wounded in a fight makes me absolutely furious. As I stand there gawking, the girl remains silent, her hand clamped over her chest. I manage to quit staring pretty quickly. Well, good. She lifts her head and lets her hand fall from her chest, her pain seeming to have eased. She looks directly at me. I don't know quite how to respond to that gaze, but then I notice something.
傷がなくなってる。
Even her armor's repaired. It's crazy. Blood stains as well. Gone. The spear missed her heart, but it did pierce her chest, and yet there's no outward sign of a wound. I've heard that there's a kind of healing magecraft, but she didn't seem to use anything like that.
No
That must
reverse
mean-
curse energy here.
Exactly. That must mean she can heal herself, no matter how wounded she is. Quote unquote, within reason. There's always exceptions. My mind switches gears. I shouldn't be gawking at her. This girl is unbelievable, and I absolutely should not let my guard down around her until I know who she is and what's going
お
on.
前何者だ。
I take a half step back as I ask the question.
何者も何もセーバーのサーバントです。あなたが私を呼び出したのですから確認をするまでもないでしょう。
セイバーのサーバント。
はい。ですから私のことはセーバーと。
He says it so casually. There's a touch of contempt in her tone, but it remains mostly gentle, and hearing her voice makes my head go blank.
It's the accent. Why the hell am I getting agitated right now?
Good question. This is what we call the budding simp.
そうか。変な名前だな。
That was your best thing you had?
Though to be fair, he did have his heart destroyed. He 100% had at least one stroke as a result of his body not getting enough oxygen to his brain. So, he's not exactly working properly.
He's not 100%, I get it. But that was your best idea of how to respond to that? You didn't even have to comment on her name!
Yeah.
I'm gonna bully him because I love him, you must understand.
I see. Carry on. I cover my burning face with a hand and respond stupidly. But I honestly don't know what else to say. Besides, how else would she respond when I just ask her what
the hell she is, and it'd be rude for me not to respond.
true?
俺はシロ。エミやシロって言ってこの家の人間だ。
There's something wrong with me.
You're just now noticing?
I'm saying the dumbest things. But well, she did give me her name, and it's only polite that I give mine. I know I'm confused, and it's still important to remain rational no matter who I'm dealing with. The girl, Saber, just keeps watching me in confusion. She moves not an inch.
いや違う。今のはなしだ。聞きたいのはそういうことでなくて、つまりだな。
分かっています。あなたは正規のマスターではないのですね。
Thank you for noticing.
Yes. Now help me out a little bit more and explain what the heck is going on.
しかし、それでもあなたは私のマスターです。契約を交わした以上、あなたを裏切りはしない。
Crap.
Yeah. I hear her, but I couldn't be more lost. The only thing standing out to me is that she keeps referring to me as Master.
Not Koshoji-sama.
それは違う。
Master.
俺マスターなんて名前じゃないぞ。
それでは素人。ええ、私としてはこの発
Girl
音の方
really
が好ま
skipped
しい。
straight to first names.
I mean, she, in fact, or he, in fact, did just say, "My name is Shiro." So of course, that's just what she's
Oh yeah,
gonna
but
use.
no honorific, nothing, just straight Shiro.
Hey, she's obviously not around from these parts.
White woman spotted.
Exactly. As for like what part of the world she's from, we'll sort that out a little bit later. But
We can
It
sort
ain't
that out
here.
later, but she certainly ain't Japanese with turquoise eyes and golden hair.
mm-hmm. The moment she says my name, I thought my face might actually burst into flames.
Oh, I feel you, bro.
Isn't it a bit more normal to call someone by their last name when you first
ち
meet?
ょっと待て。なんだってそっちの方。
And now that everything's catching up with you. See, a strange sensation tingles through my left hand. Back of my hand is burning. Oh, so that's what yours is shaped like. Interesting. And let me guess, are each of their whatever the word for it is, the symbols on their left hands, are each of them unique for each of the 7 different classes?
Not necessarily 7 classes. It is unique for each person, though.
Oh, okay. It's super unique. I was expecting at least to the class level, but okay.
Oh
Very
yeah,
cool.
but Rin kind of had that whole Quake symbol going on.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's what led me to think of like the next level of uniqueness, but it said no, we're going all the way. Ultra unique. Every person. Very. A strange pattern appears on the back of my left hand, like a tattoo.
それは霊樹と呼ばれるものです、シロ。
Ah, thank you. Breaking it down.
私たちサーバントを律する3つの命令権であり、マスターとしての命でもある。むやみな使用は避けるように。
お前。
シロ、傷の治療を。
Does my name look like a Kotsu right now?
Is my name Arito? No.
I ain't no doctor, man.
It seems she's not focused on me, but something
待て。
elsewhere.
まさか俺に言ってるのか。悪いけど、そんな難しい魔術は知らないし、それにもう治ってるじゃないか、それ。
Dude would make for a good healer, though, if he knew it.
Yeah, I can
He'd
see
be a
it.
great support character.
Yeah. He's already got the effectively X-ray vision to see inside, see what's going on.
He is very much a support character right now because he has no other choice. Every time he's
Yes.
tried to fight, it's been out of desperation.
Yes. True. I feel like I've said something that disappoints her.
ではこのままで臨みます。自動修復は外面を覆っただけですが、あと一度の戦闘ならば支
That's
障はないでしょ
right. Saber was said to be. Saber is one of the knight classes, which comes with better magical resistance than the cavalry classes.
あと一度って何を。
う。外の敵は2人。この程度の重圧なら数秒で倒し
Boy,
相手
did
です。
she.
Yeah. Saber leaps over the wall, effortlessly. Just like Lancer, she makes it look easy. And now, I'm just alone in the yard.
外に敵
I realize what she means as soon as I
ちょ
say
っと
it.
待てまだ戦うっていうのかお前
I
Man,
move
his head
without
is not
thinking.
really all there today, is it?
No, no, he's not. Which I can't blame him, but
He
no,
did get stabbed twice.
yeah. Well, really, well, yeah, the once and then the second that grazed him on the arm. Yeah. I run as fast as I can towards the gate. I reach the gate, unlock it with trembling fingers, and jump out. Booga booga booga.
Where are the white
どこ
women
だ
at? Oh no, he really did.
Dang.
Imagine being in a life or death battle and some kid just busts up the door going, "Ooga booga booga, where are the white women at?" I feel like everybody present would have to pause, right?
Oh gosh. That's crazy. I strained to see in the darkness. Clouds have completely obscured the moon, leaving it pitch dark. Now, of all times. But I hear something nearby.
そこか
I run to an empty pathway. It happens all in an instant. I see a familiar man in red and Saber fighting. Saber rushes him and breaks through his guard with a single sweep. She easily cuts at the man in red. She raises her arm ready to, but before she's able to take his head, incredibly powerful magecraft causes him to vanish. Saber doesn't stop. She dashes right to the person standing behind the man in red and effortlessly negates the potent magecraft they unleashed. I knew she was strong, but this is just unreal. That was a sort of intervention magecraft way beyond anything I'm capable of. My old man might have been able to cast something with a bit of weight to it, but I'm not sure even a first-rate mage could just cast something so powerful at the drop of a hat like that. Even so, Saber nullifies the magecraft as if it were nothing. The enemy must be a mage, which means this match's outcome is decided. The mage's attack doesn't work on Saber. Saber drives at them mercilessly. The mage falls backwards with a thud. The enemy miraculously dodges Saber's attack, but they can't move anymore. Saber corners the enemy and levels her invisible sword at them. My mind freezes. Maybe it's a momentary glimmer of moonlight, but I see that Saber is attacking a human. I can't tell who it is specifically, but the image of Saber killing someone, their blood staining her hands, suddenly fills my mind. Saber moves in. She's going to slit open their throat with that invisible
やめろ
sword.
セイバ
I scream as loud as I can. Her blade stops cold. It's probably best for my sanity that I can't see her sword. but the tip of that invisible sword isn't wet with her opponent's blood just yet.
やめろ。頼むからやめてくれ。セイバー。
Now, are you about to quote unquote waste a command spell on this?
It didn't light up immediately.
Right. Right. I glare at her as I speak. If I'm going to stop her, I need to prepare myself to give everything I've got to do so.
なぜ止めるのです、シロ。彼女はアーチャーのマスターです。ここで仕留めておかなければ。
No, Saber has absolutely no intention of stopping. She only stopped because I told her to, but she still holds her sword at the ready.
だから待てって。人のことをマスターだとか言ってるけど、こっちは点でわからないんだ。
It's
俺を
now
そ
the
んな風に
time.
呼ぶんなら、少しは説明するのが筋ってもんだろう。
This is like that one scene in The Incredibles. And so they started monologuing.
You sly dog, you caught me monologuing.
Exactly.
Oh, she angy.
Mm-hmm. Saber doesn't answer. She just stands there, staring at me.
順番が違うだろう、セイバー。俺はまだお前が何なのか知らない。けど話してくれるなら聞くから、そんなことはやめてくれ。
I do love the detail of the rivets in her armor too.
Mm-hmm. Very well drawn. Saber is silent. She still holds her sword at her opponent and stares at me, her lips downturned in dissatisfaction.
そんなこととはどのようなことか。あなたはむやみに人を傷つけるな、などという理想論を挙げるのですか。
We just met. What are you doing seeing through me like this?
Hey. For such is the master and servant relationship.
They haven't
something.
slept yet.
I mean, yeah, fair enough. There's still a connection. No matter how faint.
Oh, he's gonna be feeling that in the morning.
Well, don't needlessly harm another. Well, yeah, it's better to avoid conflict as much as possible. But I'm not so soft-hearted as to feel sorry for someone who's attacking me.
つまりあなたは敵であれ命を絶つなと言いたいのでしょ。そのような言葉には従いません。敵は倒すものです。それでもやめろというのであれば、令状を持って私を律しなさい。
いや、そんなことっていうのはお前のことだ。女の子が剣なんて振り回すもんじゃない。怪我をしてるならなおさらだろう。
Don't you box me in with your
2004 misogyny.
exactly.
で、そっか。本当に剣を持ってるかどうかはわからないんだっけ。あ、いや、とにかくそういうのはダメだ。
In that moment, Saber's mouth falls open in stunned silence. I don't know how much time passes with her just standing there like that.
で、いつになったら剣を下げてくれるのかしらね、セイバーさんは。
Hi, Ren.
Nice of you to join the conversation. You did, in fact, catch us monologuing.
This was a
Or
dialogue.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. There is two of them at this point. Yeah. Dialogue. The person who fallen to the ground speaks up out of nowhere. Saber instinctively grips her sword.
諦めなさい。敵を前にして下げる剣はありません。
あなたのマスターは下げろって言ってるのに。へえ、セイバーともあろうサーバントが主に逆らうって言うんだ。
Oh, you have an archer that is the very definition of such.
You don't need to know that right now.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Saber grits her teeth. but lowers her sword, loosening her grip a bit. She must have put the sword away or something because she seemed suddenly much less hostile.
さなら立ってもいいのよね私。
Whoever it was that's been on the ground finally stands. They act brazen as they pat the dirt from their bottom. Wait a minute. That's...
お前遠坂。
ええ。こんばんはエミヤくん。
And Tosaka replies with the biggest smile on her face. This is unbelievable. I don't know what to think anymore. The way she greets me so casually makes me question whether everything that happened was even real.
ああ、いや、だからさっきの魔術は遠坂が使ったってことだから、つまり
魔術師ってことでしょ。まあお互い似たようなもんだし隠す必要もないわよね。
Indeed. Hearing her be so blunt about it makes me seem like the idiot here.
いいから話は中でしましょう。どうせ何も分かってないんでしょエミヤくんは。
As she says that, she walks towards the entrance to my house. Interesting. So this is the angle that she's going with.
Just gonna let herself inside. Oh,
Yeah.
to be fair, Saber did kind of immediately cut down Dante.
You right. You right. So, might as well be here in the moment because escape is not an option. Neither is
You
fight.
can't beat him. Teach him.
Yeah. And then our dear handyman Amiya has already shown himself to be soft-hearted. So he's like, all right, I can take advantage of this.
Soft-hearted, vaguely swordsman equipped. Maybe his weapon should be a wrench. Just give him a giant wrench. A giant hammer!
Yeah. Yeah.
Give him the Yorick hammer.
Oh my gosh.
待て遠坂、何考えてんだお前。
At that moment, when Tosaka turns around, her smile has changed into something completely different.
バカね、いろいろ考えてるわよ。だから話をしようって言ってるんじゃない。エミヤくん、突然の事態に驚くのもいいけど、素直に認めないと命取りって時もあるのよ。
As Jack
ち
tried
な
to
みに
tell
今が
me.
その時だと分かって。
Hell, you really need to learn when to shut the fuck up and just say yes, ma'am.
It is a skill. It is a skill. She glares at me and I can see actual animosity in her eyes.
分かればよろしい。それじゃあ行こっか。エミヤくんのお家にね。
The way she can just switch on a dime.
Oh,
I mean, we know why. We heard through her face for a little bit.
indeed. She just hit us with a little mask on, mask off. Tosaka walks through the gate.
なんかすげえ怒ってるぞ、あいつ。
Well, yeah, her servant just got bodied. She almost died, and the reason why she lives is because of,
Your kind heart.
yeah. And this is barely day 2 of the war. Well, technically day 1 now that Saber's been summoned.
It is, in fact, pistol start day 1 is what it is.
Yeah.
The first shot's been fired. The Revolutionary War is off.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't blame her. Just a moment ago, she had a sword pointed at her and she was about to die.
いや、それにしたって。
Maybe it's my imagination, but I think the Tosaka at school and the one I see right now are completely different people.
And this is just weird as hell.
Ren Tosaka, the most popular girl in school, the girl I admire even, is walking in front of me, while a blonde girl named Saber, who calls herself a servant, is silently falling behind me.
He's being attacked from all fronts. He has no escape from the women.
What a life to live.
Leave me out of this.
I didn't say nothing. I just said, what a life to live. The hallway feels like it's in a completely different dimension. But I can't stay a coward forever. I may still be in training, but I'm still a mage. Osaka, who is apparently a fellow mage, is as bold as brass, so I have to hold my ground too, or else I'll look stupid. Though I can't really think of anything all that significant here. Like, Saber still following me. He keeps calling me master, and we formed some sort of contract, which probably makes her a kind of familiar. I've heard a familiar is an assistant mages use. Most mages transfer part of their own body into something else and use it as their double. But typically, they're small animals. Things like cats, dogs. They're easier to control. Some mages do use humans, but to do that, they need an incredible amount of magical energy to constantly feed into the human to control them. Doing that would require a mage to use over half of their own magical energy to sustain the familiar, though. So it's not exactly efficient. Familiars are supposed to be tools to help mages, which is why they usually use small animals who can be controlled with minimal effort and so aren't any burden. At least that's what I was taught.
Unless your name
Nanka
happens to be
Armadeska.
Luis and
Shit.
Saito, in which case, just a plain old muggle shouldn't be too much effort. Familiar of Zero, my beloved, you introduced me to the concept of guy with sword, and I'm here for it.
That's funny. Something the matter, Shiro?
ああいやなんでもない
Nandemonai.
Saber obviously looks human, and she is clearly superior to her master. That is me. I don't have enough magical energy to restrain someone, let alone the magical circuits to control familiars in the first place.
We did get a glimpse at his circuits, actually, when he was casting tracing.
Yep, we did. It was a single line.
One singular circuit. Ooh, yippee!
Yup. Which means Saber is nothing like a familiar. She calls herself a servant.
In English, too.
Yes. I don't know what she is, but that man called Lancer and the man in red Tosaka has in tow are probably all the same. Which means Tosaka can also be called the master. I've already seen enough of her magecraft skills. I'm less than a fledgling, but based on what I've seen, Tosaka is probably worth 3 mages. Though there's really not much sense comparing any mage to someone like me, who can only do strengthening. True. What's clear is that Ren Tosaka is an exceptional mage. In spiritually strong lands, there are mage family lines which oversee a given area. The Amiya family came during Kirisugu's generation, so our family is essentially outsiders. That's why I didn't know Tosaka came from a family of mages, and I don't think Tosaka knew I came from one either.
Literally, first generation.
Yeah. You should get a scholarship for it.
A clock tower scholarship for being the first Emiya in Japan.
Yeah. There are several mages in this town I don't know about. If that Lancer guy is another mage is familiar too, that means I've gotten myself in the middle of some sort of fight between mages.
へえ、結構広いのね。和風っていうのも新鮮だな。あ、エミヤくん、そこが今？
I really should just stop thinking for now. Now's the time to pay attention to what Tosaka has to say. I turn on the lights. It's already past 1 in the morning.
寒っ。何よ、窓ガラス全開してるじゃない。
He did
仕
kind of
方ない
have
だ
that
ろ
brave moment of
ランサーって
attack.
やつに襲われたんだ
Mm-hmm.
なりふり構ってられなかったんだよ
Ain't that the truth?
ああ、そういうこと。じゃあ、セイバーを呼び出すまで一人であいつとやり合ってたの？
やり合ってなんかないただ一方的にやられただけだ
ふーん。変な見え張らないんだ。そっかそっか。ほんと見た目通りなんだ、エミヤくんって。
What is that supposed to mean?
Honest. Honest to a fault. That's what she meant.
When it's from her, it feels like an insult, is the thing.
I mean, it's that too, but I'm choosing to believe just that first part. I don't know what's so amusing to her, but Tosaka walks over to the broken window. Tosaka picks up a broken piece of glass. She stares at it for a second. She cuts her fingertip and lets a single drop of blood fall onto the window. What kind of magecraft is that? And thus the shattered window begins to reassemble itself, returning to its original, undamaged state in mere
Tosaka.
seconds.
今の
Advanced Presty.
ちょっとしたデモンストレーションよ。助けてもらったお礼にはならないけど、一応筋は通しておかないとね。
Yeah. Also, to be fair, the scales have already been balanced. You saved his life, karma came around to save your life. So to be fair, if she had let him die, then she wouldn't have been in danger at that moment anyways, but we'll ignore that fact.
もう、私がやらなくともそっちで直したんだろうけど、こんなのマレクの無駄遣いでしょ？本当なら窓ガラスなんて取り替えれば済むけど、こんな寒い中で
I
話すの
feel
もな
like
んだ
you
し。
are massively overestimating us.
Yeah. Well, though, to be fair, she was implying that he would just get a new window, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Since it would be a waste of magical energy to do what she did and run it back. He says all this like it's a normal thing. Her skills are just beyond my
いや
comprehension.
すごいぞトサカ俺はそんなことできないからな直してくれて感謝して
Mending. It was mending she used then, not Presty.
Yes.
I had to think about it for a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
できないってそんなことないでしょ？
No, it's quite right.
ガラスの扱いなんて初歩の初歩だもの。たった数分前に割れたガラスの修復なんてどこの学派でも入門試験みたいなもの
Like I
でしょ？
said, you are massively overestimating us right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
そうなのか俺は親父にしか教わったことがないからそういう基本とか処方とか知らないんだ
は？
Tosaka stops abruptly. Crap, sounds like I said something I shouldn't have.
ちょっと待って。じゃあ何？エミヤ君は自分の工房の管理
I
が
have
で
a
きない
shed.
半人前ってこと？
Ain't that the truth? I got a shed.
いや工房なんて持ってないぞ俺
At least not a mage workshop. I have an actual workshop, which is where I repair things, but that's in the traditional sense. Well, actually, I have the shed I use for training, but I think calling that a workshop would have just made Osaka angrier. Yeah, it would have.
まさかとは思うけど確認しとく。もしかしてあなた5大要素の扱いとかパスの作り方も知らない？
We serve radiators here, ma'am.
Ma'am, this is a Wendy's.
Man, this is an auto zone.
Exactly. Whoa, that's terrifying. beautiful as she is, she gets intense when she goes quiet.
何？じゃああなた素人？
Yeah. Less than an amateur even.
そんなことないぞ。一応強化の魔術ぐらいは使える。
Getting dad flashbacks here.
強化ってまたなんとも半端なのを使うのね。で、それ以外は空っきしってわけ？
Don't clown on my boy. He has skills.
Mm-hmm. So Sokka just stares at me.
端的に言えば、多分。
Her stare is so intense. I can't help but be vague in my answer.
はあ、なんだってこんなやつにセイバーが呼び出されるのよ。まったく。
See, that's
Oh,
what
no,
I'm
how'd
still
you
trying to
end-
figure out.
Oh no, how'd you end up getting Archer?
Well, she did a whole ritual at the wrong time in the middle of the night. Though in Emiya's case, my only guess is that it probably had something to do with whenever he went to the shed, he just happened to crawl in the corner where the magic circle that was carved into the ground was at. That's my headcanon until told otherwise. He sighs. Disappointed. I don't much care for that. Not like I've been playing around here. Sure, I'm not a full-fledged mage, but that's not the issue here.
まあいいわ。もう決まったことに不平をこぼしても始まらない。そんなことより今は借りを返さないと。
Osaka takes a breath.
それじゃあ話を始めるけど、
Let the lecture begin.
エミヤくん、自分がどんな立場にあるのか分かってないでしょ。
I nod.
やっぱり。まあ一目で分かったけど、一応確認しとかないとね。知ってる相手に説明するなんて心の贅肉だし。
Yeah. That was a really weird way to put that, but I feel like I get smart with her. She'll smack me. That is true.
She'll smack you with magic in her hand.
Mm-hmm. And then she will consequently lose said hand. And probably her head immediately following.
True. There's a blonde woman right there. Sword.
Mhm.
Always out, as far as we're aware.
Yeah. Always ready.
率直に言うと、エミヤくんはマスターに選ばれたの。どちらかの手に精魂があるでしょ。手の甲とか腕とか、個人差はあるけど、3つの霊樹が刻まれているはず。それがマスターとしての証よ。
手の甲って。
そう。それはサーバントを律する呪文でもあるから大切にね。霊樹って言うんだけど、それがある限りはサーバントを従えていられるわ。
So does that imply that after the three are gone, the servant will just disappear?
Not necessarily. Once the seals are gone, though, there's no reason for the servant to listen, I suppose.
Yeah. They can be like, you have no hold over me. I'm going to go wherever I want.
I quit this job, stab.
Yeah, I guess that's an option too. They could just turn on the master. You treated me terribly. Bye-bye.
ある限りってどういうことだよ。
You could lose your hand.
霊樹は絶対命令権なの。サーバントには自由意志があるって気づいていると思うけど、それをねじ曲げて絶対に言いつけを守らせる呪文がその刻印。発動に呪文は必要なくて、あなたが霊樹を使用するって思えば発動するから。ただし1回使うたびに1つずつ減っていくから、使うのなら2回だけにとどめなさい。で、その霊樹がなくなったらエミヤ君は殺されるだろうから、せいぜい注意して。
俺が殺される？
そうよ。マスターが他のマスターを倒すのが聖杯戦争の基本だから。そうして他の6人を倒したマスターには望みを叶える聖杯が与えられるの。
何？
Hold on a minute.
I don't understand what the hell Tosaka's saying.
Yeah. Masters defeat masters. Then they're granted the Holy Grail, and is the Holy Grail the Holy Grail?
まだわからない。要するにね、あなたはあるゲームに巻き込まれたのよ。
Welcome to Danganronpa, and hello, Eric.
Hello, Eric. I mean, I was gonna say more like Yume Nikki, but
7人のマスターの生存競争。他のマスターを一人残らず倒すまで終わらない魔術師同士の殺し合いに。
Osaka talks about this like it's the most normal thing in the world. Everything she says swirls around in my head. I was chosen as a master. Osaka claims to be a master as well. Familiars called servants, and the Holy Grail War, a battle to the death between 7 mages. Why I got beat to the death, but anyways.
待て、なんだそれ。いきなり何言ってんだお前。
気持ちはわかるけど、私は事実を口にするだけよ。それにあなただって心の底では理解してるんじゃない？一度ならず二度までもサーバントに殺されかけて、自分はもう逃げられない立場なんだって。
Hold up. I only told you about the time that he attacked my house. How did you know that there was a second one? Huh? Apparently, Eric got bludgeoned by a trunk.
oh, I see.
I'm going to assume that this was Shigeki that was actually bludgeoned.
Praying. I like my boy not bludgeoned, personally.
That true. That Lancer guy did nearly kill me.
あ、違うわね。
Oh no, it
殺さ
actually
れか
was
けたん
Eric.
じゃなくて、
Are
殺
you
されたんだっ
okay?
け？
Please, are you in fact okay?
Osaka's comment is the final nail in the coffin. He's absolutely right. That guy killed me. I died. There was no chance for me to talk him out of it, nor convince him otherwise. And I was only there to die. Eric says that there was minor TM bleeding, but he's fine. TM.
Fine, TM. That's okay. That's about where he's at usually.
That's why me backing out of this incomprehensible deathmatch doesn't mean the others will do the same.
納得した？ならもう少しだけ話をしてあげる。
Educate me, Tosaka senpai.
聖杯戦争というのが何であるか私もよくは知らない。
Good question. Too bad she doesn't have the answer.
ただ何十年に一度7人のマスターが選ばれ、マスターにはそれぞれサーバントが与えられるってことだけは確かよ。私もマスターに選ばれた一人だからサーバントと契約したし、あなただってセーバーと契約した。サーバントは聖杯戦争を勝ち残るために聖杯が与えた使い魔と考えなさい。
What a nice holy grail. Giving us tools to do.
The Holy Grail is just the best and worst wingman.
Yeah.
で、マスターである私たちは自分のサーバントと協力して他のマスターを始末していくわけね。
Okay, okay. I see you using this we.
Girl
Which, you
speaking
know what?
French.
Exactly. Which, you know what? Understandable. Get the new guy on her team with the super powerful saber, take out everybody else, and then once it's just them two left, if she's lucky, stab our dear Shiro in the back and win. At least that's what I'm thinking her plan is. The rough outline, if you will. So Sokka explains things matter-of-factly, but it feels totally unreal to me. But one thing she mentioned raises a
ちょっと
question.
待ってくれ。遠坂はセイバーを使い魔だって言うけど、俺にはそうは思えない。だって使い魔っていうのは猫とか鳥だろ。そりゃ人の幽霊を扱うやつもいるって言うけど、セイバーはちゃんと体がある。それにとても使い魔なんかに見えない。
I glance over at Saber. She winks at me. No, I'm kidding. She's been quiet the whole time. Saber looks completely human to me. I don't know who she is, but she looks to be a girl about the same age as me.
スカイマね。まあサーバントはその分類ではあるけど、位置づけは段違いよ。何しろそこにいる彼女はね、スカイマとしては最強とされるゴーストライナーなんだから。
Okay, so I'm only vaguely aware of what a liner is. Ghost liner? No clue. Don't look at me. Yellow card is out of commission.
Oh, dang. Here I thought our ever dependable encyclopedia of foreign terms would come through once again.
Look, when we get to Sparks Liner High, I can tell you what a liner is.
Okay, okay.
Ugh.
ゴーストライナー。じゃあやっぱり幽霊ってことか。
Spirit of a human, someone who died long ago. The residual thoughts of a person of exceptional ability who remains in this world even after their death. That doesn't make sense. Ghosts don't possess a physical body. Ghosts can only hurt other ghosts. How could I, who possessed a body, be killed by a spirit?
幽霊。似たようなものだけど、そんなもんと一緒にしたらセイバーに殺されるわよ。
Dang.
サーバントは受肉した過去の英雄。精霊に近い人間以上の存在なんだから。
はあ？受肉した過去の英雄。
そうよ。過去だろうが現代だろうが、とにかく死亡した伝説上の英雄をこう引っ張ってきてね、実体化させるのよ。まあ呼び出すまでがマスターの役割で、後の実体化は聖杯がしてくれるんだけどね。魂を形にするなんてのは一介の魔術師には不可能だもの。ここは強力なアーティファクトの力におんぶしてもらうってわけ。
Which makes sense. That's what provides all of the extra power that Shiro was expecting would be needed to, make a actual human familiar type.
ちょっと待て。過去の英雄って。
I'll look at Saber. So she's a hero of the past too? For sure. Nobody in the modern era would dress like her, but still.
そんなの不可能だ。そんな魔術聞いたことがない。
当然よ。これは魔術じゃないもの。あくまで聖杯による現象と考えなさい。そうでなければ魂を再現して固定化するなんてできるはずがない。
魂の再現って。じゃあサーバントは幽霊とは違うのか。
違うわ。人間であれ動物であれ機械であれ、偉大な功績を残すと輪廻の輪から外されて一段階上に昇華するって話聞いたことない？
Interesting. Humans, animals, or even machinery.
I can confirm that one.
Here's to see what type of machinery achieves such a thing.
I can say this, if you don't mind.
Oh yeah.
The Voyager.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He's a total cutie, by the way. So darn cute. Carry on.
I will have to investigate this after stream.
英霊っていうのはそういう連中よ。要するに崇め立てまつられて疑似的な神様になった者たちなんでしょうね。高齢術とか口寄せとかそういう一般的な霊を扱う魔術は彼らの力の一部を借り受けて奇跡を起こすでしょ。けどこのサーバントっていうのは英霊本体を直接連れてきて使い魔にする。だから基本的には霊体としてそばにいるけど必要とあらば実体化させて戦わせられるってわけ。
Oh ho.
その霊体と実体を使い分けられるってことか。遠坂のサーバントは姿が見えないけど今は霊体ってことか。
いえ、あいつはうちの召喚人で傷を癒している最中よ。さっきセイバーにやられたでしょ。あれだってあと少し強制撤去が遅かったら一撃で消滅してたわ。いい？サーバントを倒せるのは同じ霊体であるサーバントだけ。そりゃ相手が実体化していればこっちの攻撃も当たるからうまくすれば倒せるかもしれない。けどサーバントはみんな怪物じみてるでしょ。だから怪物の相手は怪物に任せてマスターは後方支援をするっていうのがセオリーね。
Osaka's explanation ticks me off. I don't know what the other servants are like, but calling servants monsters doesn't feel like a fair description of Saber.
とにかくマスターになった人間は召喚したサーバントを使って他のマスターを倒さなければならない。そのあたりは理解できた？
言葉の上でなら。けど納得なんて言ってないぞ。そもそもそんな悪趣味なことを誰が何のために始めたんだ。
それは私が知るべきことでもないし答えてあげることでもない。そのあたりはいずれちゃんと聖杯戦争を監督しているやつに聞きなさい。私が教えてあげられるのはね、あなたはもう戦うしかなくてサーバントは強力な使い魔だからうまく使えってことだけよ。
As Tosaka says that, she turns to Saber.
さてエミヤ君から話を聞いた限りじゃあなたは不完全な状態みたいね、セイバー。マスターとしての心得がない魔術師見習いに呼び出されたんだから。
So we got two incomplete servants.
ええ、
For entirely
あ
different
なたの言う通
Mm-hmm.
reasons.
り、私は万全ではあり
One
ません。
because of the master, the other because of the summoning ritual.
Which technically is still because of the master.
There's a degree of separation.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
シローには私を実体化させる魔力がないため、霊体に戻ることも魔力の回復も難しいでしょう。
We're on a minimum MP stat run right now.
驚いたわ。
Right?
そこまでひどかったこともだけどあなたが正直に話してくれるなんて思わなかった。どうやって弱みを聞き出そうかなって程度だったのに。
Girl is slick.
敵に弱点を見抜かれるのは不本意ですが、あなたの目は欺けそうにない。こちらの手札を隠しても 意味はないでしょう。
Good point.
それならばあなたに知ってもらうことでシロにより深く現状を理解してもらった方がいい。
正解。風格も十分と。もうますます惜しい。私がセイバーのマスターだったらこんな戦い勝ったも同然だったのに。
遠坂、それ俺がふさわしくないってことか。
当然でしょ、ヘッポコ。
Savage.
Hepoko! Oh my god!
Dang.
The viciousness on this twin-tailed bitch!
Exactly. Whoa. Anyone with the heart might have softened that blow a bit.
何？まだなんか質問があるの？
Only protests.
Exactly. But she doesn't realize how hurtful her words are. My image of her as the perfect honor student at school slowly crumbles.
Have you met an honor student? They're usually not very good people. At least in regards to, like, you talk to them as a person, and you understand how all the pressure of being honors has gotten to their personality. All the honor students I met in my school turned out to be quite the alcoholics later. Can't imagine why.
Dang, that's crazy. Makes me wonder what my valedictorian and salutatorian are up to. Well, but anyways, at least in my experience, all the ones that I know, at least up to this point, they're vibing, chilling, a-okay.
Perhaps this just comes from the early college high school environment I was in.
Mm-hmm. Also, Eric says, excuse? Double excuse?
No offense, Eric.
Because indeed, he is one of the fellow honor students.
He turned out pretty okay.
That he did.
さて、話がまとまったところでそろそろ行きましょうか。
Oh, where were we going? So Sokka announces this curtain, but it's kind of weird.
行くってどこへ？
Dato?
だからあなたが巻き込まれたこのゲーム、聖杯戦争をよ
Oh,
く
we're
知ってい
going
る
to the
やつに会い
referee.
に行くの。
Whoa, that's
エ
crazy.
ミヤ君、聖杯戦争の理由について知りたいんでしょ？
Sure.
それは当然だ。けど、それってどこだよ？もうこんな時間なんだし、あんまり遠いのは。
大丈夫。隣町だから急げば夜明けまでには帰ってこれるわ。それに明日は日曜なんだから別に夜更かししてもいいじゃない。
She does make an excellent point.
いや、そういう問題じゃなくて。
何？行かないの？もうエミヤ君がそう言うんならいいけど、セイバーは？
For some reason, Tosaka's asking for Saber's
ちょっと
opinion.
待て、セイバーは関係ないだろう。あんまり無理強いするな。
But in fact, she has literally everything to do with this.
もうマスターとしての自覚はあるんだ。私がセイバーと話すのは嫌？
そんなことあるか。ただ、遠坂の言うのが本当なら、セイバーは昔の英雄なんだろ？なら、こんな現代に呼び出されて、右も左もわからないはずだ。だから、
シロ、それは違う。サーバントは人間の世であるのならあらゆる時代に適応します。ですからこの時代のこともよく知っている。
Nice.
知ってるって、本当に？
もちろんこの時代に呼び出されたのも一度ではありませんから。
Interesting.
嘘、どんな確率よそれ。
Oh, hey, Tosaka's surprised too. That must mean what Saber said is at least somewhat unusual.
シロ、私は彼女に賛成です。あなたはマスターとして知識がなさすぎる。あなたと契約したサーバントとしてシロには強くなってもらわな
Well,
けれ
if
ば
you
困
say
ります。
so, ma'am, I guess I have no choice but to agree.
No choice but to comply.
Happy wife, happy life, Shiro.
That is how it goes. Saber silently stares at me. The look on her face tells me she's saying this is for my sake, not for her own safety.
分かった。行けばいいんだろ、行けば。で、それってどこなんだ、登坂。ちゃんと帰ってこれる場所なんだろうな。
もちろん行き先は隣町の琴峰教会。そこがこの戦いを監督してるエセ神父の居所よ。
Tosaka flashes a mischievous grin. It's a look of someone who's enjoying teasing me since I have no clue what's going on.
I'm familiar with that grin.
At least that's what I think. I'm starting to believe Tosaka has a really nasty side. That's an understatement.
In the words of Issei, Koro Tanuki!
Exactly.
I gotta tell you, karaoke, Japanese, a lot harder than you think.
Oh, it's very
I did
hard.
not realize how many goddamn syllables they packed into one word.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Even if you are just reading the Romanji.
Even reading the Romanji, my English brain can't keep up.
Mm-hmm. And don't let it be a fast song. K.O.
I went straight for I will Torimoto say.
Goodbye.
My poor throat, that was not the opener. I should have warmed up with some Johnny Cash or something.
Yeah.
I did eventually go on to Johnny Cash and found out, oh hey, he's like the same level of baritone than I am. I can do that.
Nice.
It was Man in Black that got me, actually.
Mm.
Man in Black and Boy Named Sue.
Okay. Okay. It's 1 in the morning. There's nobody out at this hour. The houses are dark, and the sleepy town is cast only in the streetlight's pale glow.
まあ、登坂。つかのことを聞くけど、歩いて隣町まで行く気なのか？
そうよ。だって電車もバスも終わってるでしょ。いいんじゃない？たまには夜の散歩っていうのも。
Imagine living in a city where you can just walk to the other side of town.
Imagine being like, hey guy, I know that you just had a brush with death, literally touched death, had dinner, and dessert too at that, was brought back. I know you haven't fully recovered from any of this. You're shell shocked. Want to go walk over to the next town over?
Wanna go see the priest with me?
Like, girl.
Ma'am, I am a Shintoist or a Buddhist. Why do I need to go see a Catholic right now? I do not need confession. I have samsara within me.
Well, you see, it's called the Holy Grail for a reason. Of course, it's going to be a Catholic priest we're going to.
Interestingly, despite him being clearly more Catholic coded, some of the things he says feel very Protestant.
Okay.
We'll get there. We'll get there. You'll see exactly what I mean.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, how long will the wall take?
歩いてだと1時間ぐらいかしらね。
I thought you said, well, I guess a taxi would run late, wouldn't
帰
it?
りはタクシーでも拾えばいいでしょ。
And she just said trains and buses. Didn't say nothing about no taxes.
そんな余分な金は使わないし、俺が言いたいのは女の子が夜で歩くのはどうかってことだ。最近物騒なのは知ってるだろ。もしものことがあったら責任持てない
Love
ぞ。
how he just skipped past it when it was dealing with Fujine because he doesn't consider Fujine a woman at that point.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
安心しなさい。相手がどんなやつだろうとちょっかいなんて出してこないわ。エミヤ君は忘れてるみたいだけど、そこにいるセイバーはとんでもなくお強いんだから。
That she is. Not mess with the girl. Oh. Now that she mentions it, if anyone picks a fight with Saber, they're just dead. That's crazy.
リン、シロは今何を言いたかったのでしょ
Lord have
う。私には理解できなかった
What
の
did
です
they do to you?
put her in a poncho, a raincoat, a loud yellow one.
I
at
know.
that.
That is
Oh,
not your
goodness.
color, girl. That's more like a Babylonian color. That's not.
Yeah.
いや、大した勘違いっぷりっていうか、大間抜けっていうか。なんでも、私たちが痴漢に襲われたら、エミヤ君が助けてくれるんだ
More
っ
or
て。
less.
Basically.
そんな、シロは私のマスターだ。それでは立場が逆ではないですか。
そういうの考えてないんじゃない？魔術師とかサーバントとか
No,
どう
you
でもい
really
いって
don't want
感じ。
in.
あいつの頭の中、一度見てみたくなった
You
わ
try
ね
to look into Shiro's mind, it's just the fucking. It's the Pharaoh's mind prison.
Oh Lord.
Who dares awaken me from my slumber?
Dang. Dang. I was sure you was going to go with just like the empty mind with the clapping monkey with the symbols.
The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma.
Spilled milk.
Hey, that's our brand.
It's true. It's true. Osaka and Saber seem to be on good enough terms to chat now. Saber's been quiet ever since I stopped her from leaving the house as she was. She flatly refused to take off her armor, so I made her wear a raincoat. She's been quiet ever since. Now she's just following me and only speaks to Osaka. Dang.
あれ？どっちに行くのよ、エミヤ君。そっち、道が違うんじゃない？
橋に出ればいいんだろ。ならこっちのが近道だ。
I feel a little awkward walking right beside her, so I walked a little faster and took the side path.
He does know this town a little better, it would seem.
Yeah, certainly seems like it. We enter a park along the riverside. All we need to do is cross the bridge to reach Shinto.
へえ、こんな道あったんだ。そっか。橋には公園からでも行けるんだから、公園を目指せばいいのね。
Maybe it's the park at night. Osaka, as she stands there staring up at the bridge, looks prettier than when I see her at school. This isn't good.
Get it together, man. This is a really long day for him, isn't it?
Yeah. There's even a new day, even, technically speaking.
This is gonna be a really long 12 hours for him.
Yeah, it is. Though, to be fair, given how early he wakes up, we're probably just going to clock in at 24 by the time he gets home.
Oh yeah, no, if not 24, like 19 minimum.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to clock into bed, look at the clock, it says 5 a.m. Damn it!
Yeah. So that's like roughly about the time that he usually wakes up, though he did oversleep, so it's probably like 5:36.
If I've learned anything in my life, never ever think you can make it off of 1 hour unless you have stims to go with.
Yes.
30-minute nap, that's one thing. Make sure you actually got to sleep before the nap, though.
Oh my gosh, reminds me of this one time in college. I was working on some homework for it was either like Cal 3 or my vector calculus class. I was up literally all night finishing it up, and I was like, okay, now that it's done, I have class in like an hour or two. Let me go like take a quick nap so that way I can at least be semi-functional, and went to sleep. And then I woke up, noticed that I was not awoken by my alarm. First red flag. Two, it was a lot brighter outside than it should have been. Second red flag. Looks at my watch and it's like noontime, roughly. And I'm like, dang it! By that point, class had been a long since over. And I never got a chance to turn in that homework. It was like, well, if this was going to happen, I might as well have just went to sleep last night.
Sometimes you just gotta know when to say, this is not worth whatever extra points this gives me on my grade. I'll take the L.
Yeah, I was never that student. I always tried to at least get it done.
I feel that, but when I'm staring at my assignment, it's like 4 a.m., and I have class at 10, I have to take a moment and realize, am I going to suffer tonight and tomorrow morning? Or am I just going to go the hell to bed right now? The answer is usually, I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
You know, it's like being woken up in the middle of the night by a beautiful woman. Like, yes, you are beautiful. I need to sleep, though.
I see. Is that how it is?
Look, I understand that you want to get your hanky-panky on, but I have an assignment tomorrow at like 6, so I'm getting back under the covers. You can do what you want.
Me and Eric both. ... Hell, that's a terrible example.
Aren't all my examples terrible at this point?
My goodness. I cannot relate.
I value my sleep way more than I value women, okay?
Fair enough.
If you got a problem after 10 p.m., that's between you and God. Leave me out of it.
Dang. Really could not be me. I am a night owl by nature.
You're a night owl and you're a good soul.
I'll be awake regardless. Oh gosh. Might as well have some fun.
Oh no.
That. Good. Good.
God, the doodle bob makes this so much better too.
It really does.
The
Oh,
doodle
God.
burr, I guess. Doodle burr.
Yes.
I need to breathe.
Yes. Breathing. Inhale, exhale. And exhale.
I'm good. We should at least get to the church, I think.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
いいから行くぞ。別に遊びに来たわけじゃないんだから。
I remind Tosaka to hurry and start climbing the stairs. Once we reach the road at the side of the bridge, it's just a straight shot to Shinto. There's nobody on the bridge. I'd be surprised if there was. Not surprisingly, since the bridge isn't exactly busy even during the day. People tend to take the bus or train to get to the next town, so the pedestrian bridge doesn't see much use. It's a pretty good distance, and the bridge itself seems a little unsteady, so people might worry that it could collapse at any time. Yeah, that's true. Always a terrifying thought. Probably why this isn't a very popular spot for dates, even though the location and ambience are perfect.
This is kind of like that bridge where everybody. I love his little soliloquies.
Mm-hmm.
But this reminds me a lot of the bridge where, like, you know, the love bridge where everyone puts like a little lock to represent their love.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then along comes some criminal with a bike lock saw.
Gosh. Alright, the clip has been made. Perfect.
Oh,
We will watch this after stream ends.
I suppose so.
Tabor follows silently while Ren walks beside me. I hurry across the bridge as fast as I can and try not to think too much about the two girls with me. Bruh. Do you really have just zero resistance?
He's a 17-year-old boy. Come on now.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Once we cross the bridge, Tosaka leads us to the suburbs. The office buildings near the station only come to mind when I think of Shinto, but there's still a traditional townscape on the outskirts. The suburbs are especially prominent in that sense. There are gentle slopes and a hill that overlooks the ocean. Further up the hill you go, the fewer houses there are, and there's even a foreigner cemetery built along the hillside.
What a lovely place,
この
though.
上が教会よ。
Mm-hmm.
エミヤ君も一度ぐらいは行ったことがあるんじゃない？
いや、ない。あそこが孤児院だったってことぐらい
Well,
は
I
知っ
guess
て
he
る
would
と
know that, right?
Yeah. Well.
It's where he
Well.
would have gone.
Yes, that's true. It is, yeah, where he would have gone. Because that's what I was going to say. I'm like, he never actually had to go there, though.
He never touched down in the orphanage because he got adopted like immediately by some stranger in a trench coat.
Yeah, while he was in the hospital.
Would not trust that man if I was medical staff, by the way.
Yeah.
Just wanders in, trench coat, stubble, and the Spike Spiegel hair. Hey kid, you want to learn some magic?
Though, to be fair, he didn't lead with want to learn magic.
No, but he did lead with I am a magician.
Yes, he did lead with that, however.
So I'd just be there saying, what are you gonna hypnotize me to think I'm a bull and wave a red flag in front of me?
Okay. Is that what magicians do?
I know of at least one hypnotist who did it.
Wow, that's crazy.
そう。なら今日が初めてか。じゃあ少し気を引き締めた方がいいわ。
He can be a
そこの
little
神父は一筋縄じゃいか
intense.
ないから。
I see.
That tends to be a lot of priests I know, to be honest, but like it's never in a way that you can tell. Like it's always in the subtle way, like oh, this man talks to God like a friend. I should be careful.
As one should.
Well, yeah, but
He's a
there's
hunk.
talking to God like he's your childhood friend, and then there's talking to God like you're a priest. Hey boss, it's me again. You got a minute?
I agree, that is something a little different.
Cleric casting divine commune for the 8th time.
Oh gosh. A church atop a hill. I never imagined a circumstance like this is what would bring me to God's house.
He rolled out the welcome mat for you and everything, boy. Ooh,
Okay.
すごいな、これ。
It is pretty nice.
look at that shrubbery.
I know. The church is magnificent. Chef's kiss. The whole hilltop seems to be church grounds, and I'm greeted by a huge open space the moment I reach the top of the hill. The church at the other side of the vast open space isn't all that big, but it seems to loom over everything, intimidating any visitors.
シロ、私はここに残ります。
Gonna give away our
Interesting.
position, girl.
なんでだよ。ここまで来たのに、セイバーだけ置いてけぼりなんてできないだろ
私は教会に来たのではなく、シロを守るためについてきたのです。シロの目的地が教会であるのなら、これ以上遠くには行かないでしょう。ですから、ここで帰りを待つことにします。
That's how you know that she must deem the place to be safe. Because I would not expect that she would leave Shiro's side easily. Faber is frank in her response. I can't. I can't see her budging on this point, so I decide to respect her
う。
decision.
わかった。それじゃあ行ってくる。
はい。誰であろうと気を許さないように、マスター。
Also, welcome, Crow Mogger.
Welcome, welcome.
What the Sigma fate? Stay night.
I'm sorry. Anytime I ever see this kind of architecture, all I can think is I have been in this place before.
Right?
Like, I'm half expecting the mariachis to come out right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I'm sure it's different for every culture of Christian, but in my case,
Mm-hmm.
it's just missing the mariachis.
You're right. You're right. It must see many visitors during the day based on the number of pews in the chapel. True, there are a lot of pews. That's 4 columns.
Again, I've been here, like...
Why don't they have like the traditional little
like the little kneeling steps?
yes, thank you, that's the word. I actually only recently learned that was a thing.
Yeah, that is in fact a thing we have down here.
Yeah.
Sometimes they have actual cushioning. Sometimes they're plain wood.
Okay.
You can tell which one I prefer.
Yeah, for sure.
Sometimes I just kind of hover my knees over and just let my ass take most of the weight on the chair while I pray.
There you go. There you go. Not a
You
bad
gotta
idea.
find a way to make it work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because whenever one of my coworkers got married, they had their ceremony in a Catholic church, and that was the first time that I had like been in one and saw that they had the little praying cushion step things, and I was like, "Whoa, that's really cool." Today I learned.
The main reason I know why this is particularly a Catholic church as well is that in some other scenes we do see the confession hall, actually.
Yeah.
So
That'll
like
do it.
that's usually the key sign.
I agree.
Because out of Catholic guilt is very much a real thing.
Yes.
But out of all the Christians, the ones who are the most well practiced in terms of Catholics tend to be the least guilty of themselves, kind of thing. Because, you know, confession, it's a thing. They confess as much as they can if they're doing things right. Unless you're me, and an anxious bitch who is afraid of talking to priests.
Understandable. They can be a mixed bag.
Oh yeah. Sometimes you get Father Martin. Sometimes you get Deacon Rudy.
Sometimes you get Father Mateo that will punch a demon.
Let's go, Padre!
Oh, I love it. The priest must have incredible authority if he's responsible for a church as grand as this one.
ここの神父さんっていうのはどんな人なんだ？
どんな人かって説明するのは難しいわね。10年来の知人だけど、
He has a
私だっ
very high
て
deception
未だに
score,
あい
I
つの
see.
性格はつかめないもの。
10年来の知人？それはまた随分と年季が入った関係だな。
親戚じゃないけど、私の後見人よ。ついでに言うと、兄弟子にして第二の師っていうところ。
Oh, asking if they were related.
兄弟子って魔術師としての兄弟子？
A magic priest.
Magic priest.
そうだけど、なんで驚くのよ、そこで。
Oh no, usually you don't mix your int and your wisdom, you know?
Yeah?
だって神父さんなんだろ？神父さんが魔術なんてそんなのご法度じゃないか。
Mages and churches have never mixed well. Mages belong to a large organization called the Mages Association, but there is also a hidden group operating in the shadow of the most widespread religion, not one normal people would ever hear about or want to get involved with, known as the Holy Church. The two have nothing in common. They may have a sort of surface alliance, but they're constantly trying to kill each other, given half a chance. The church loathes heretics. They are out to eliminate any inhuman in the world, including users of magecraft. In the church's eyes, only saints are permitted to perform miracles. All other human miracles are heresy. There are no exceptions, even for those within the church. The higher the position is within the church, the more they are forbidden from the impurity of magecraft. It goes without saying that the more blessings someone receives from God, especially someone who is in charge of a church like this, the further distance they should take from magecraft.
そもそもここの神父さんってこっち側の人だったのか。
ええ、聖杯戦争の監督役を任されたやつだもの。バリッバリの大公社よ。まあ、最も神のご加護があるかどうか
That is not the kind of thing I want to hear as an open question.
Yeah. Seems incredibly sus to me. Osaka's footsteps echo as she walks towards the altar. I'm not sure whether you're supposed to be walking around here without a priest, but pretty late.
I mean, if you're walking past the center, you should, like, give a little bow to the altar, I think.
Priest wouldn't be in the chapel at this hour, so I guess he'd be in his private room out back.
んで、その神父さんはなんて言うんだ？さっきは琴峰とかなんとか言ってたけど。
名前は琴峰綺麗。父さんの教え子でね。
Like, beautiful.
もう10年以上顔を合わせてる腐れ縁よ。まあ、できれば知り合いたくなかったけど。
Okay.
同感だ。私も死を敬う弟子など持ちたくはなかった。
Hello again, Joji Nakata.
Savage. Tap, tap. I hear footsteps. A man slowly emerges from the far side of the altar. He must have noticed when we entered the chapel.
再三の呼び出しにも応じぬと思えば変わった客を連れてきたな。ふん。彼が7人目というわけか、リン。
And with that, we'll have met our mysterious priest.
He has a mullet. Like, I don't trust him.
Dang. Dang.
Feel like it's a fair assessment, right? It's 2004. A mullet is slowly being faded out of existence here.
Dang.
He's got mullet and bangs, actually. Hold on.
Yeah. But I do agree, his overall vibe, very sus. Definitely not someone who
definitely-
inspires confidence. And,
He has the authority. Like, he has that aura, that feeling, that charisma. It's just he doesn't look very approachable because of that, is the thing. He's the priest you go to for a confession, not the priest you go to ask about how to deal with your girl problems.
Yeah. Indeed. But with that, I think we'll call it a night.
Indeed.
And next time, we'll see what our priest has to say, besides making additional shots at Ren as she makes additional shots at him.
That's how you know they grew up together.
But with that, good night to the
Yeah.
people.
Good night, people. Now let's watch this. Let's see this clip here.
Indeed. You too. As soon as the stream ends, you should go watch the clip.